Shields up, Ironbreakers. Rurikhan here, coming at you with another episode of the Kast, and I'm here with FightinCowboy. How you doing, FightinCowboy?
Oh, just peachy today. That's what we've discussed.
Yeah, you guys don't need to know about FightinCowboy is in a struggle day today.
About the pre-podcast discussion.
Yeah. So I figured we'd get today's podcast started by talking about the month of August, which I would say has probably been, out of every single month that I've ever done this in content creation, I think this was the busiest month ever. And I would actually even say that I aged like 10 years in August, because on top of everything, I also have two kids which are already a little bit older than your kids, require a little bit more attention in summer break in the middle of this mess.
Yeah, August was, I mean, even now, it's still super busy. Like, things are finally slowing down after getting through Liza P, but, like, dude, it was just, like, I plan on doing Blasphemous, but I haven't even, like, installed it yet.
I don't have plans for Blasphemous. Like, for me right now, things are legit slowing down because Lies of P is probably, like, the last thing that I'm doing until Lords of the Fallen or something. Then I'm probably going to tackle some backlog, do some other random.
You're not going to do no Phantom Liberty?
Phantom Liberty.
The Cyberpunk DLC?
Cyberpunk? No. I didn't even play I didn't even play it the first time around. Although I assume it's probably
you
better
should now. Now it's like actually, it's
2.0.
much better now.
Yeah. It's like, didn't I ever tell you what happened to me with Cyberpunk? Like, it's hilarious. So, like, I asked for a code for the people that were doing, there was like a PR agency that was doing stuff for Bandai Namco in Europe, because they're the ones who handle the CD Projekt Red stuff in Europe. And so this person said, "Oh yeah, totally. I'm gonna send you like a physical version." I was like, "Oh, okay, that's cool. I prefer physical versions when possible." And then, the day comes and nothing. And then a couple of days go by, a couple of weeks go by, a couple of months go by. And at this point, I'm like, oh man, it's dodged the bullet there. Never got the game. Looks like most people didn't like it. Looks like there were tons of problems. So like 2 months afterwards, it shows up. Apparently, it was like stuck in customs for 2 months. Nobody contacted me. Zero.
Jesus.
Absolutely. I was like, oh, this is great. It's like, I don't know what the hell happened, but I'm not going to play it now. So whatever. So I ended up never really touching it.
With the changes they've made, I do think it's worth visiting.
Yeah.
There's definitely some fun to be had. I mean, and I will say, in terms of exploring, at least it feels like more future GTA almost. Like you're not running around. I mean, well, you are stealing cars, but like GTA has like a certain amount of like jank to it where you're like, get out of the car, like yank them out, and it's a bit more refined than that. But like, there's some really good missions in that game.
It's like if
I just watched the anime, so I'm excited for the DLC. You're kind of
hyped for it. It's like if I was to play it, I don't think that I would stream it because I feel like the whole situation on August also showed me that I'm getting maybe a little bit too old for the amount of hours that I've been streaming. Because like there were several days that I was streaming, and by like the halfway point of the stream, I had like massive chest pains, and I think it's because of speaking for so long. Because you're just like sitting there.
I've never heard of this, and you should probably talk to a cardiologist.
Yeah, no, dude. I've checked my heart like a zillion times already over the last couple of months. I'm pretty sure it's not my heart. And like I work out, and whenever I work out, there's no problems whatsoever. And I do get like very elevated heart rate when I'm working out. So I don't think there's a problem there. It's just straight up from. You need to understand, like, I'm speaking a foreign language whenever I'm speaking English, and I'm projecting my voice in a very different way, which is why you never hear an accent from me.
Let's hear natural Rui.
I mean, I'd have to speak in Portuguese.
I know, that's the point.
Em português a minha voz seria assim, só bocado diferente. It sounds a little bit different, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing.
A little bit.
So whenever I speak in English, I feel like there's more bass in it, there's more stuff, which requires more effort from the voice box, and I feel like too many hours doing that is actually really bad for my health. So I need to slow down. What? It's not funny. It's like it's almost like having a speech impediment in a lot of ways because I just can't speak English for long periods of time. It's weird.
I can't stream as much, guys. The English hurts me.
It does. And the worst part is, I still think
damn
that
Americans in their boomy English.
the worst part is that I think it's legitimately easier to speak English than Portuguese. Like, I struggle more speaking Portuguese than English in terms of like saying the words and whatnot, because it's just a far more complex language. But yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah, so August was a complete pain. So I'm curious. So you've mentioned that you got like Cyberpunk ahead of you. What else is ahead of you? At this
Lords of the
point?
Fallen,
Yep.
Blasphemous, Spider-Man, Alan Wake 2. I think that's it.
Yeah. See,
I checked out Assassin's Creed and I was just not vibing with it. Mirage.
I don't think that Ubisoft knows how to do not Ubisoft game anymore. I think that's it. They're just like locked into that formula. They don't know how to do anything else, which is one of the reasons why it's like I really want to get hyped for that Star Wars game that they're working on. I forget what the name of it is. They got like, but it's
Outlaws.
Yeah, Outlaws, something like that. And it just, I keep thinking about it and I'm like, oh man, look at those Star Wars assets. It looks great. And then I'm like, yeah, but it's a Ubisoft. It's going to be like Assassin's Creed in Tatooine. It's Assassin's Creed in Tatooine with speed bikes. It's like, okay.
You climb the space tower and then it does a 360 pan and you see like a TIE fighter zip by every time.
Maybe it's a space station this time, whatever. You fly up to it and there's a little puzzle that you do inside of it. You climb a tower inside the space station and that reveals planets or whatever. But yeah, that's not, I don't think that's going to be particularly interesting. But yeah, I right now I'm only thinking like Lords of the Fallen. I wanted to do Project Relink, Grand Blue Fantasy, but I think that got delayed to 2024 as far as I'm aware. So there's
my list, see if there's anything I forgot in October.
Yeah. There's another one that's coming out in November for the Switch, a JRPG, Star Ocean. I kind of want to check that one out. I don't know if I'll stream it.
Star Oceans they're a good like sit in bed and melt kind of game.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. But I'm probably going to take this time to also finish Xenoblade 3 whenever I'm done with Lies of P.
I don't think I'm ever getting back to that. It's just...
Wait. Before that, I still have to finish Armored Core 6, which I still haven't finished.
You haven't finished cycles. It?
No, it's... Oh, dude, here's the thing. You haven't finished Starfield. I did.
I never played... Starfield. I was like... I was thinking Star Ocean still. I was like, I
never even played Starfield. What game is that?
No, honestly, I've been trying, dude. The side quests in Starfield, I'm vibing with a lot.
Wait. Don't get started on Starfield because I wanna do it proper. I want to talk proper about Starfield.
All right. We'll save it.
We'll save that one for now. But like, I'm just happy that now we can like take a bit of a breather. It was also we had two shows recently, which was the Nintendo Direct and the PlayStation State of Play, and nothing really came out.
Skip both of them. I was like, I ain't even streaming this.
I think that was the right choice because there really wasn't much there.
I'm looking forward to the Capcom one, but it's like
that's on
9 a.m.
on the 21st.
And I'm like, no, I'll find out what happened.
I'll stream it for you. Don't worry about it. It'll be fine.
Yeah, and I'll find out later. I'm not streaming at 9 a.m. and taking time off work. Just now.
Yeah, I'm streaming that one for sure. I think it's gonna be like 3 p.m. my time, give or take. Yeah, it should be because it's 9 for you. So yeah, it's gonna be like 3 p.m. my time. So that one's like an easy stream, 100%. I'm doing it, but I don't think we're gonna get Monster Hunter news. I think a lot of people are getting their hopes up for Monster Hunter, and I think
we'll see it at the Game Awards.
Yep, I think that is the right move.
The financial thing, the financial report they mentioned, unannounced game coming before March 2024 that they expect to sell millions. Only thing unannounced that would sell millions from them.
I don't think that they release it before March 2024 though. I think that's way too soon.
That was hang on, let me...
You really think that they're going to go like, because the Game Awards is December. They're going to go like, oh yeah, here it is, next 3 months. I think they take a 6 month marketing
and drop
thing.
drop a demo at the same time.
I think it's way too early. Although here's the thing, I would rather it be done like that. Just like
all right, during its recent quarterly earnings, Capcom confirmed it intends to release an unannounced game by the end of the current fiscal year, which in Japan ends March 31st, that will sell millions.
I'm assuming,
what would Capcom have unannounced that they would expect to sell millions?
I'm assuming that's the thing. I'm assuming Dragon's Dogma 2 had already been announced by then.
Yes.
Oh yeah, that's then I don't know. I have no idea. I still think that
I
3
mean, I can
months is
see.
a little bit.
Think about it though. They do the reveal. They do the reveal because Game Awards is what? That's late December
No, it's early December. I think
or early December.
it's usually early December.
So Game Awards is December 8th. They reveal it December 8th. You know, Monster Hunter World 2 or whatever they're going to call it, and then demo available December 15th. Immediate hype cycles ramp up. People are like, "Holy shit! I get a Monster Hunter demo I get to play after Christmas."
It's like there's this super
fast forward 2 months. February they have the Second Chance demo where you get to fight the flagship, and then they drop it in March.
I hate that they do that. I hate that you get to fight the flagship before you play the game. Good God, stop doing that, please. I just think that's
I think it would be. I mean, but look, it's not that different from how FromSoft markets their games. You know, keep people in the dark, announce it right before, and especially with the current hype cycle and how many games are coming out. Whereas right now, the November December timeline is empty. I think it would be the perfect time to drop that bomb because people are ready for it.
That actually makes sense. It's just I'm still not convinced with the March release window. I still think it's too soon. I think they would want like a good 6 months for a marketing cycle, and you get kind of like 4. With that theory, you get kind of like 4 if you release like late March, like 30 March or something like that, which I guess could work.
What about World? Monster Hunter World.
I think World had almost like a year.
Announcement. The announcement trailer was June 12th, 2017. Monster Hunter World.
So that was like 6 months and change. It was January 28th, I think.
Yeah, it was announced in June.
And it released January 28th. Right?
Yeah.
Yep.
So it was 6 months. Was it announced? If it was announced in June, was it announced during the Game Awards?
It was announced during E3, back when that was still a thing. It was announced at the Sony press conference.
I mean, I think it lines up though. Like, I don't know.
I think it's a little bit too short.
If it's not, we have Dragon's Dogma 2 coming. I'll be happy.
But I think that it's getting announced at the Game Awards, but I don't think it's releasing before March. So maybe they miscalculated their release window or something like that. I don't know. But either way, I think that for Tokyo Game Show, it's Dragon's Dogma time. I think that's the one that they really need to showcase. And I think it would be a mistake to kind of once again overshadow Dragon's Dogma with something else, because the original Dragon's Dogma felt like it was very much underrated. Still is underrated in my opinion.
Yeah.
So what are you thinking, since we just talked about the Game Awards, what are you thinking for like Game of the Year? You're still with Baldur's Gate, which I think was the last time we spoke, Baldur's Gate?
I mean, personally, I like Armored Core more.
So yours would be Armored Core, but like you think...
My personal would be Armored Core, but I think Baldur's Gate takes it. I think Baldur's Gate has... I mean, it's just going to be hard to measure up against that game.
Yeah. I'm actually saving the Baldur's Gate discussion towards the end because I want to do a bit of a spoiler segment near the end so that we can warn people off, because I do want to talk about spoilers with that game. But yeah, my thoughts on it are also, I think Baldur's Gate is going to take it most likely, and in a lot of ways I think it deserves it. But I actually think that my personal game of the year, strangely enough, might end up being Remnant 2. I liked it a lot.
I had so many graphical issues, man.
I know that you had a really bad experience. And here's the thing, that the main reason why I'm still hesitant is because I also had issues when it launched. Like straight up, a friend of mine bought it for $70, the deluxe edition, so he could play early with me, and he couldn't
play early. Yeah.
No, he could play early. He just couldn't play with me.
Yeah, no, the multiplayer servers were just wonky. Yeah. I still don't know what was wrong with it. I haven't tested it because I've had it uninstalled for like the last month, but yeah, that definitely took the wind out of my sails on that game.
I still want to go through the apocalyptic playthrough, which I started, and I was having an absolute blast, but I'm doing like apocalyptic only on multiplayer, which is actually harder than if you do it solo.
So it's just like scaling?
Yeah, the scaling, they just make the bosses hit way harder, but at the same time, the other people can pick you up, so, you know, it kind of balances itself out.
Offsets it.
I think they've done a really good job with the boss. Like, I remember the last boss that I killed in that game was a really tough boss, like one of the optional bosses, not optional, but like the alternate version of some Nerude boss. That thing was like a friggin' raid boss.
Was it where you have to fight like the light guy or the dark guy?
I don't know, because I didn't do all of the boss. No, it's not that one. That one's like a snail-looking dude almost. I know that he's almost like Rom, the guy that you're talking about, right? It's like an
No,
empathy thing.
no, it's like skinny looking Destiny dude. And there's like a dark version and a light version, and you get either
Isn't it the dude that like
weapon.
eats you?
No.
Okay, then I could be
No, I'm talking this is the guy that's in the area that has those like angel looking things that attack you. There's like inverse worlds, and you have to like spin the disc, and then it's like a dark version, and then you spin it back and it's a light version, and you like go through the world to get an item, and then flip the world, and then go back through the world, and then flip it, and then choose your boss. And each boss, they're like, bring me the heart, and the other guy's like, bring me his heart, and you have to kind of choose which one you want to tackle.
I said Neyrud, and you're talking about like one of the other
I don't
levels.
remember these fucking avatar ass names. Oh, Neyrud, yeah, I know that. Yeah, Neyrud, I remember that for sure. Come on.
Neyrud is like the technologically advanced planet, dude. It's like the big high-tech stuff.
You're talking about the one where you have to wander in the desert for like 40 fucking minutes to find the set. Yeah,
yes,
that place sucked.
That's the one. But anyways, one of those bosses, it was really cool the way that we did it, because it was like an alternate version, a harder version. It turned out to be basically almost like a raid boss where we had to really do all of the mechanics that the game was showing. It's like, no, you have to respect this mechanic or you're going to die, because there's apocalyptic difficulty. And I just really enjoyed it. And I think
I don't think I'd want to deal with the final boss on apocalyptic. That guy was such a just...
Oh, God, yeah, the final boss was terrible.
Yeah.
You know what? Maybe it's not.
No, I'm going to strike you. Now I'm a dragon. Now I'm going to hit you now.
No, wait. You know what? After you said the final boss, maybe Remnant is not my... You just changed my mind by mentioning I forgot about the final boss. Oh, no.
I mean, it was a challenging fight, but it was so not.
You
were
that
effectively...
boss.
It was like you had to essentially learn 2 boss fights and be ready to fucking switch your brain between them.
Actually, I changed my mind. Baldur's Gate's my game of the year.
Boss was infuriating.
It was the final boss, Remnant 2. Jesus Christ! I think it's mostly like, unless you're someone who can deal with all of the crazy, overwhelming stuff that they just slap on screen. It's like they slap a spaghetti bolognese on your screen every 5 seconds, like splat, splat. Like I can't see anything.
So much shit happened in that fight, man.
It's crazy. But yeah, we'll see how that pans out. But yeah, I also agree that potentially Baldur's Gate 3 is going to take it, despite some of the bugs that I want to get into and stuff.
I think Armored Core takes action game.
Armored Core, I love it. The biggest problem for me with Armored Core is that I don't have the same audience that you do for Armored Core. So like whenever I boot up a stream, like very few people show up to watch.
Bro, even if nobody watched that game, I still would have 200 hours played in it. Just
no, I agree. It's like the problem was the amount of stuff that was in August, because every time that I jump back into it, I'm super excited. I'm probably just going to do New Game Plus by myself. Like I don't care, because I'm super excited to just jump back into it every time, because it's just always a good time. Even I did start New Game Plus already, and I already got like a couple of new missions and stuff, and it was an absolute blast. But I wanted to talk to you about a more recent game, and yeah, this one's been a rough one. The day has actually been the best stream that I had for this game, and it's Lies of P.
Yeah, from what you've been telling me in Discord, it's been rough. It's been quite rough for you.
It's been very rough. So how do you like Lies of P? I haven't really watched your review, because I've avoided watching other people's reviews so that I wouldn't like mold my opinion. But I keep seeing people like from the Souls community say, this is the best None From Software Souls game ever made. And I was like, whoa. Wait a minute. Are we playing the same game?
I gave it a 4 out of 5. I think it's I do think it's one of the better attempts at a Souls game we've seen from non-FromSoft, but the game does suffer from some combat-related issues that I think stop it from being truly great.
So let's dive more specifically into that. Like, what are the? Because I'll tell you my problems afterwards. But I want to hear it from you first.
There's no poise. So using heavier, slower weapons tends to be quite challenging. You basically have to perfect guard until you get a stagger or you get an interrupt to actually use that stuff. No poise, no hyper armor, so it doesn't matter. So fast weapons, I feel innately have a better advantage there. The perfect block is not as tight as it could be, considering how much they want you to rely on that. It should have been closer to Sekiro, and instead it's, I don't know, it's a very small window. It reminds me a lot of...
So it's more like it's too tight. The window itself is too tight.
It's too tight. It reminds me of like playing Wolong back when it was in demo form, and everyone's like, this deflect is super tight if it's going to be the main mechanic of the game. And they adjusted it, and then it felt quite good. It feels like the exact same scenario, but they didn't adjust it here. So instead you have this super tight window that you're supposed to utilize, and a lot of the times it's quite difficult. I mean, there's bosses that they'll go like boom, 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 and then the Fury hit. So if you're just like, I'm going to block a bunch, and then you happen to whiff blocking the Fury, well, there goes all the health that you blocked. You're not getting that back. That's gone. So that needs to be tighter. Those, and then my other big issue was I feel the game is very linear. It feels more like a checkbox soul game, you know, like proceed through the area, encounter the mini boss, open the shortcut back to the place, proceed through the area, get past the lead enemy, open the shortcut back to the base.
So not a lot of optional paths, whereas like, for instance, start Dark Souls 1, you can go to the New Londo ruins, or you can go to the...
No, I mean, it's linear enough that I'm not even doing a walkthrough for it. I just don't think it's necessary. Like, there was only one time in my playthrough where I got lost, and I wouldn't even say lost. I just got to a part, and I'm like, where am I supposed to go?
I bet it's the arcade. Was it the arcade?
No, it was the Grand Expedition. Okay. I got there, and then I was like, where the hell am I supposed to go? And then I realized that when I got off a ladder, there was a doorway that was behind me that I hadn't noticed. And I was like, oh, okay, it's kind of tucked in there, and then everything started flowing again immediately.
Grand Expedition I did fine, but like there was a moment in the arcade, and I think it was because I opened the door, and then I finished my stream, and then I started the next stream, and I was like running around this arcade like completely lost. It's like one of the most mazy levels in the game, and I was like, dude, what is going on? But so like you have a problem with how tight the parry window is. My thing is that I think there's an issue with most of the things that you fight have Margit derangement syndrome. Like they all will Margit derangement syndrome. That's what I'm calling it. They all will just hold their attacks for 10 years.
Oh, where they go, yeah.
And you're just like sitting there, is it coming? What? Is it coming now? Not yet. And then the one time that you lower is like slam right to the mouth. And it's very frustrating.
Well, that with the fact that you need to like, you have, you know, a fraction of a second to nail that perfect block. It's just those two things together don't add up.
And the other thing is also, you know how in Sekiro, even if you don't know exactly when it's coming, you can kind of finagle a little bit and go like, right? And you eventually get it. Like it's just like going up and down. It's like, and you get it. But in this game, it's like if you try doing that, it's like, nope. The recovery animation is like, it's so slow. So you can't even like do the thing in Sekiro that you could kind of go really fast to try and get something. You can't correct it. It's very hard to correct if you mistime it. So that feels very punishing. And then on top of it, the dodge just blows. Okay, dodge.
So have you upgraded the dodge?
I have, and I don't notice any difference at all.
What's your weight at?
Slightly heavy. I never go to really heavy. I've played. Yeah. Here's the thing. I've tested it with even like no weight penalties, and I still don't notice.
I mean, I regularly, I will straight iframe through attacks with the dodge. Like especially late game bosses, I would iframe through getting a poke, iframe through getting the poke, get the perfect guard in the red thing, iframe through. So I don't know. I feel like I adjusted to the dodge quite well.
I had a,
but it's not like a Souls dodge. It's not a Souls dodge.
It's just a really strange dodge that they did. And the thing was also, they said that they were improving it. I remember them saying something about that when we played the beta, and they were like, oh, we're gonna improve the dodge. And I was like, no, you didn't. That thing is still terrible. What are you talking about? Like, I don't like it at all.
I felt fine about it, man. I did not, like I said, I think perfect deflect needs work, but I didn't struggle with the dodge. I think you're playing on some weird alpha version of the game.
Sometimes it does feel like that. I don't know if the PC and console have different versions, but you are playing on the 1.1.2 or whatever, and mine is 1.0001.000 because I'm playing on PlayStation 5 and I'm like, what is this version?
Build.
It's weird. Because the other thing was also like I was playing Advance when I started. So I start the game, I'm playing Advanced, and I'm having a blast. I'm loving it because I like the elemental effects that you get. But like, oh, now it's shocking, and now it's on fire, and all of this stuff. And then I get to the Archbishop, which I'm not going to go into too much detail, but whenever you guys get to the Archbishop, you're going to feel it too. And in the Archbishop, he was just like slapping me around, like getting completely destroyed. And I was choosing not to use the Spectres. Up until the Bishop, I didn't touch Spectres at all. And then eventually I was like, okay, look, guys, when I realized the Bishop had a second phase, I was like, okay, never mind. Listen, guys, I'm going to go re-roll my character right now.
See, Bishop, I struggled, and then I was like, all right, clearly fire works here. Let me pull out the fire dagger.
Which handle did you use on the fire dagger? The default one?
I just used the default, yeah. And I did fine. I cleaned him and was like, damn, all right, all we had to do was pull out the weakness.
Yeah, but it's like I was using the fire dagger.
I will say, so I've been streaming New Game Plus. I'm doing a quality build with like final boss weapon, and I got up to Archbishop and I was like, oh man, here we go.
And you beat his cheeks, no problem.
Beat his cheeks. Yep. First attempt, beat his cheeks. I was like, oh.
It doesn't surprise me at all because when I swapped to strength, because like I said, I also tried the dagger and it just wasn't working for me to the point where I was even considering. Maybe in this game, if you want to do like advanced, you have to do some crazy hybrid thing, or maybe not crazy, but like you have to go into motivity or go into technique and then use the. But the thing was, when you posted your build, which I went to see this morning, I was like, let me see his goddamn stat. You're sitting over there with like over 30 advanced and 9 on the other 2 stats. And I was like, no, wait a minute. What the hell?
That's the trick.
Because even people in my chat were telling me, no, I think that advanced needs to be like hybrid. And then today I look at your build like, hybrid my ass.
It's all advanced.
It's just like all in advance, which is what I was doing. I was going all in on advance. With health and vigor and all of that good stuff.
That's it, man. I just straight advance. I got enough stamina. I leveled stamina until I started seeing a soft cap. I got enough weight that I was at slightly heavy. Got health to where I was comfortable, and then just every other point keeps going in advance.
But so then what I did was I went back, like I stopped the stream, and I just straight up, okay, let's start a new build, put everything into motivity, and just go ham. Instantly destroy the whole game up until the Archbishop. Like, nope. I think I had played for like 10 hours until I got to the Archbishop, give or take. I did that whole thing in less than 2 hours. Whilst grabbing everything, just like, boom, 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 just destroy everything. I was just smashing through the friggin' game. Get to the Archbishop, struggled a couple of times still, because I was still getting used to the new build and trying out weapons and whatnot. And then eventually just killed the Bishop and just carried on through. Eventually, when I got to the Black Rabbit Brotherhood, that's when I sent you that clip. Do you see how disgusting? Yeah. That's like less than a minute.
It's a lot of damage. So what? How far are you now?
So now I am just after the Krot Central Station. Like without getting into spoilers, I'm like redoing that bit that you kind of do at the start, whatever.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Okay, so you are getting close to the hard bosses. Did you fight the Lightning Lady yet? I'm trying to remember. I think she's after Krot.
I don't.
You
I don't
would know.
Remember.
It's a very cinematic fight. You would know who I'm talking about.
No,
okay.
I haven't fought her yet.
Yeah, there's that. You got her. You got final boss, and then you got secret boss. I'll be curious on how strength handles final boss.
Yeah,
the final boss fight in this game is legit hard. Like it is like this guy's a fucking doozy.
Like that was the thing for me. Like a lot of the boss fights just feel way harder than they should have been because I wanted to do the game without summoning. Not for any particular reason. I was just I want to see
wait till New Game Plus. Yeah, New Game Plus, boss. I was debating if I want to continue it after yesterday's stream because boss health gets so insanely buffed. Like I had like a solid minute
even more. Because, like, I feel it's already ridiculous. If in New Game Plus it's worse, I'm probably not.
Dude, I would do, like, full charge attack, full fabler, critical, and the boss would be through, like, a quarter of his health, maybe.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, it does get really insane.
Yeah, the health scaling is outrageous. Like I'm borderline thinking about just doing a new game playthrough for alternate builds instead of New Game Plus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do feel like a lot of their scaling, it almost feels like, for starters, in normal mode, it almost feels like the game was balanced around you using the dude, the summon, the Spectre.
Yeah.
It feels like they balance
they're
it like
helpful.
that.
There doesn't seem to be a scaling difference when you have the Spectre out.
Yeah.
And
the thing is,
like a buttload of Stardust. So
this dude.
Summoning
Listen,
dust. Yeah, I had like 70.
My advanced build got like 4.
Oh my god! Dude, no wonder why you're getting clapped. Yeah,
Like,
you just have man. I mean, I cleared. I never spec'd off advance. Kept changing up my weapons, like using the dagger, the fire dagger on the acid spear for a while. That was a really strong combo.
that was my plan. I was like, I'm gonna grab this spear handle. Like, even before you told me about the spear, when I saw the spear on the strength build, because I was still playing the advanced build on the side, and I was thinking, oh man, if I can just get through the bishop, I can get this spear handle, and then I can put whatever I want on the tip, because there's a lot of reach in this thing. So this can really just like shred stuff, I imagine. But even after that, because like I've been through the bishop since then, and like I struggled super hard on the Black Rabbit Brotherhood with the acid spear. I was like, I can't.
Black Rabbit, I think I used. Do you have the electric whirligig by that point?
I don't remember. I don't remember if I had it by that point or not. I don't think so. I think the electric saw comes later.
Yeah, because I took that, I slapped it on the mace handle, and that worked out quite well. Because the actual the hilt that the electric saw comes on is too slow to even use. I tried using it, and I'm like, this is
a lot of the hilts feel like they're not even viable. Almost like the big wrench. I wanted to use the big wrench hilt, and it just felt like, bro. So I ended up using the hilt from the police baton. That thing is so good.
I honestly, I think in about like 3 to 6 months of patching, I think this has potential to become like really, really, really good. But like the thing is the slow moveset and the lack of poise or hyper armor, it makes it very undesirable because you can't
here's the interesting thing. There are some weapons that have poise against small attacks.
Against small attacks, but the thing is, like let's say you're charging up your super mega hit.
Yep, too bad.
And then something's just like smack, too bad. Or you have that 4-bar Fable art that you're about to drop out. Smack, too bad. And that's the other thing. Fable, honestly, Fable should fully recharge anytime you respawn. Because if you want, you could just you could teleport to the hotel, go to training, leave training, come back, and it's recharged anyway. But the fact that like you would lose a boss fight and then need to build your Fable back up, that's just tedious. Fable in general, I think, needs to charge up faster. Because like you have these cool abilities, and half the time, most of the time I wasn't even getting to use them.
My Fable actually charges pretty fast because if you use your charged attacks, and
I was using charged attacks all the time, and it was still just dragging a stick, man. It was not that fast.
It's so weird because like I felt like my Fable recharges reasonably fast. Like I get to use it decently. I mean, I don't know, maybe like twice per boss, I'll get like 2 full charges, give or take.
I mean, even on New Game Plus, I feel like it's charging slow. Maybe your version of the game has fast Fable charge to offset the other garbage.
Yeah, that's balanced around fast Fable charge. I don't know.
You have the fast Fable charge version. I have the good dodge version.
But I feel like the biggest thing about the game, and the reason why it didn't click with me, was it took a long time until I found a weapon that I'm like, I actually like it. Because the weapon that I showed you that I did, which was like the saw blade with the police baton thing, like that's a good weapon, but I don't like it. Like it's very good, it's very effective, but I just don't like it.
It gets the job done, but I'm not a fan. It does.
Exactly. Like it's very good.
It's like a 2005 Toyota Corolla. It'll do just fine, but I don't love it.
Yeah, exactly. So I always look for a weapon that I really, really like, and I found that weapon today, dude.
Which weapon is it?
So it's a weapon that, as far as I'm aware, has a mistranslation error because it is called the pistol rock drill something. I forget what the whole name is. It was like pistol rock drill. Now, the reason I say it's probably mistranslated is I think their intention was to call it the piston rock drill because it's a spear. And when you do the charge attack, it goes like this. I'm a child.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I can tell. Do you giggle every time you hear the word P organ as well?
Yeah, not me, but my chat sure does all the time. No,
Chat
but like
is relentless with that.
the
I got a P organ. I'm like, yes.
no, but
We
listen,
get it.
this weapon is actually brutally powerful, and I really like it. It's really fun.
You didn't get the war pick, the strength exploding pickaxe.
I missed it. My chat actually told me about it, and I went back and
I
picked
figured
it up.
you'd like that.
But
And then you'll
I
probably
missed
like.
it.
But I think you'll like Mjolnir.
I actually
and you get
don't
that
like
soon
it.
too.
I actually don't like the war pick that much because you
It's
need
like-
you need like 3
the
bars of
boom.
Fable. Yeah, but you need 3 bars of Fable to boom. And it's like
I mean, that's most weapons. Is 3 bars of Fable for your big attack. The weapon I'm using, I need 4 bars of Fable. I think to do the whole thing. No, it's maybe 3.
I think 3 is like the cap. 4 just helps you get like maybe the buff if you have a weapon that does a buff or something.
Yeah,
and then
that's what it is. It's 1 for my buff, 3 for my combo.
Yeah. So, but this thing, the piston spear. So what this does is, for whatever reason, it crits all the goddamn time.
Yeah, that's the new game plus weapon I'm using is a crit. It comes with like 30 crit.
Yeah, that's what that one also has 30 crit, and on top of it, you can buff it to crit more. So the buff on that weapon makes it crit even more.
Let me see if I.
And so, because of the motion that it does, if you get a Spectre, right, and the boss is targeting the Spectre, you just go up behind the monster. And like, just like critting the crap out of it. Like, for instance, if the latest boss that I did, which was the one in the Barren Swamp, you know which boss I'm talking about?
Yeah.
The Barren Swamp boss. So
Yeah,
that boss, the first
green
phase,
swamp
like one of my burst phases in charge, that's it. It's your whole health bar.
I might do the strength playthrough at some point. Some of the strength weapons do look really cool. That was the other thing I didn't like, is there's not a single out of all the boss weapons, not a single boss weapon scales with advance, which felt really shitty to me.
That is weird, but aren't they doing like a collaboration with Wolong or something? Maybe that one's good. I don't know.
I think Wo Long is getting Lies of P weapons. I don't know if
Okay.
Lies of P is getting Wo Long weapons.
Okay. And the other thing that I liked is the Legion arm that I could get because of strength, because I looked at all the scaling on the Legion arms, and I was just like, okay, I'm going to get whichever one scales with strength, and it's the one that drops mines. And initially I thought that I wasn't going to like it very much, but I actually started using it quite a bit because it's pretty good.
I haven't tried that one yet. I just put some points into it. I've done obviously all the advanced ones, and then lately I've been using the shield, which is okay-ish.
Yeah, shield's all right. I like the shield a lot, but it's like a quality one, so I can't really get the full benefit of the damage. But I like the idea of like, oh, you block and it explodes, and there's an explode. That's cool. But
Well, the charge back's kind of cool, because so it's weird is when you block, you get knocked back, and then you release and repress it, and you charge up, and then do like a big Russian punch, and it does a pretty nice amount of stagger damage. So I'd like that to help get my stagger up on bosses, but it's definitely situational.
yeah. But it's like ever since I got the crazy piston weapon, and now I've gotten the hammer that you told me about. I don't want to tell people so that they can get surprised, but I got that hammer. But see, that's where I actually
Wait, but I thought that hammer came from Lightning Lady.
No, it's just a box in the place that I'm at right now. It was just like a box. So I went there, picked it up, and instantly I was like, okay, this handle is unusable because like,
But it has good unga bunga on it.
yeah. So basically what I did was I removed that handle, put the war pick handle, which is super fast, and it's just like bam, bam, bam. I was like, now that's what I'm talking about.
Did you get Live Puppets handle? It's basically just like a giant.
God, I looked at that thing. I was like, I don't want to look at this.
It takes up like a third of your screen. Can't even see the enemy.
It's like the demon great axe in Dark Souls 1. It's just like
huge.
takes up the whole freaking
huge.
screen. And it's super slow too, so it's probably
Yeah.
barely
Oh god. Yeah.
even
The charge
viable.
attack, even the running attack on that takes an eternity.
Yeah, but like that's the thing. The spear that I have now is also very slow. And what I realized is that thing is, you know, you're fighting stalkers because they move a lot. The first stalker I encountered now was trying to use the piston spear. I was like, okay, this is just straight up not usable at all. I couldn't land a single attack because it goes like, ugh. But if you're trying to charge it, they have poise against it, so it doesn't matter. So I'm going like, and the dude's just like eating all those hits, poised through it, and then slams me in the face. And I'm like, bro, he takes like 3 or 4 hits, doesn't get staggered. I'm like, what is this?
That's what I'm saying. The poise is very imbalanced here.
Yeah.
Like you get nothing and enemies get all the poise.
But see, that's the thing, because then I swapped, because I'd been using this this boss sword weapon, which is the one that like breaks apart. You know, the one that's like encased in rock, and then the more you hit with it, it starts breaking apart.
Is that the blue one?
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't get that. I got his amulet instead, but I know the weapon you're talking about.
Yeah, so that weapon is really cool because it's super slow, but as you hit enemies, it starts getting a little bit faster. See, that's a very cool weapon that I thought, oh, this is an interesting thing that you can do here. So I take that weapon, and that weapon, whenever I slap them with it, he's like, oh, you get staggered. So I'm like, so wait, I have this slow-ass spear, doesn't stagger you, then I get this slow-ass sword, staggers you. I don't understand.
You'll have to let me know when you get to the final boss. I'll be curious what your approach is on it.
But basically, once I started like getting these much later game weapons, they started feeling powerful. Whereas pretty much everything that I got in the early game just felt terrible. It felt like I'm not dealing any damage. The boss is not getting staggered at all. Even the slightest sneeze will stagger me into oblivion.
Well, so that's the thing that's fun about Advance, though, is once you figure out what something is weak against, like the wrestling man.
Yeah, he's
the one
probably
that, like, drop kicks you.
I would assume he's weak to fire.
No, I thought so too. I was getting my ass whooped on him. Acid. I put on acid and I instantly bodied him. First attempt with acid.
Don't do drugs, kids.
Like, dude, it was unreal because I was sitting there and I was like, oh man, this guy's big. I want to get stagger windows, so I was using shock. And then I'm like, well, he does kind of have a whatever they're called, not corpses, but
carcass.
Yeah, carcass. I was like, he's carcass looking, so maybe fireworks. But then I put on acid, and it was like 5 stabs, and he was already in the acid status. And then I'm like, all right. So then like I enchant acid on the spear, and then it's just like stab, 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 stab. Just his health melts. I'm like, dude, acid is unreal.
I'm surprised that you were struggling in that one because by the time I got to that one, it was like
I was
pretty
too
sure
slow.
It was my second attempt.
I was too
it's
slow,
like
and he was
my
just
first
slapping me.
attempt. My first attempt wasn't even a real attempt. It was like, I'm just going to go in to see what he does, not even taking the spirit thing with me. And then the second time, I'm like, okay, now let's go in for real. And I did use all my potions, but I killed him. Second attempt. I was like, strength
I was
build,
just
man.
too slow with
Strength
the,
build.
with the lightning, I think.
Yeah, but I do feel, I see, that's the thing that I wanted to do with my playthrough. I wanted to do what you're saying, which is like, oh, let me figure out what's the weakness and then use that.
Yeah.
But I just could not power through almost anything. Although the weird thing is, today I was going to tell my stream, I mean, look at this. I'm using the weapon that Cowboy told me is amazing on this boss fight. Watch me beat the crap out of me. And then I go into the fight and I kill him first try.
With which weapon?
With the acid spear, the black rep. So it's like I fail for like 20 times off stream. I fail like 20 times in a row or something. And then on stream, just to make a point, because somebody was talking about like, you know, your advanced build and how it's actually good. And I was like, oh, I'll show you right now. And then I go in there and I kill the boss. And I was like, what? God damn it.
Acid spear OP, bro.
No, the thing is, I didn't kill him with just the acid spear. What I did was, and this was something that I was trying to do even on the other attempts, is proc the acid debuff on him, and then use the Flamberge arm to burn him. Except this time it worked. That was it. Because I didn't change anything.
I got in the final boss in the kill, I got down to where he had like this much health, like, you know, probably 4 or 5 stabs still. And then I was out of heals, and I was like, I can't risk this. And mid-fight, I hopped into my inventory, swapped that off, put the spear on, and then finished this fight with the spear because I needed to be able to just like move and poke to get him down.
Yeah.
And I pulled it off.
Nice. See, that's one of the complaints that I also have, which I think is really dumb, which is, you know how in Bloodborne you can just equip 2 weapons and it has like, no, I mean, actually Bloodborne just doesn't have a weight mechanic pretty much. But like the second that I start this game up, and this is something that I mentioned in the beta as well. You start the game, and they're like, oh, you can equip 2 weapons and swap between them. And I was like, oh, great. Does it affect my weight? Yes, I'm never going to do it.
No.
Because it affects your weight. I think
I did late game. late game, I was using a flame greatsword and the spear, and with both of those, but I had a couple different setups. I would use both of those and be slightly heavy still. I wasn't going to get back to medium weight, so I was like, well, I might as well have both of these on. But if I put on the puppet master amulet, which is like insane, like after perfect block, your attack does like 40% more damage.
Damn.
But it's for one attack. But for the spear, that's perfect. Because perfect guard, getting a poke. Perfect guard, getting a poke. And these pokes are like insane damage coming out. So that worked out pretty well.
Yeah.
But since that thing weighs like 10 units, if I had on that, I would go down to one weapon.
There's
if I wasn't using
a
it,
lot
I'd go to
of
two.
really heavy stuff in the game. There's like, I keep swapping.
Dude, I went all the way through the P organ, got to the final upgrade. I'm like, oh, I can have two Legion arms on. I'm like, that's great. I'll have the lightning, and then I can swap to acid or fire if I need it. And then it's like, oh, by the way, this comes with the weight cost as well. And I was like, nope, respec. It's instant respec.
It's the same thing with the amulets. Like, I was thinking about going into the P organ and be like, oh, the first time that I see you can have another amulet, I was like, this is great. And then I see another one further down the line. You can have yet another. And I was like, no, never mind. It comes with weight, so I don't need it.
I mean, one of those amulet slots is just the weight and capacity increase plus one, and it works out.
Pretty much. That's what I do. But still, I don't know. But
yeah, weight needs to be. I think weight in general in that game could use like a sweeping reduction across the board.
Yeah. Most of the stuff is way too heavy. Like, you're playing super light with super light armor, and the game's like, yeah, you're slightly heavy. It's like, how? Like, what are you talking about?
Yeah, apparently there's somebody made a thing on Reddit. There is a lightweight class, but you'd never know because you have to have like 0 defense on, 20 points in capacity, and you can get to it when you're at like 30%.
Jesus.
Yeah, I just assumed the baseline. I was like, oh, that must be, that's the quick roll, and slightly heavy is like your mid roll.
Yeah, that's what I thought as well. You get your quick roll, and then you have your mid roll, and then you have your fat roll.
Yeah, but apparently there's an ultralight. Just no one's gonna ever use it because you have to be like naked. So
yeah, I mean, maybe people that are looking for a
speed runners
challenge, which is see, that's the reason why I held off so long. I haven't done an impressions video on it because I'm like, I don't know. There's something about this which it feels like it should be a really good game, but it doesn't feel good to me. And yet, whenever I hear other people talk about it, they're like, this is amazing. It's the best thing ever. And I'm like, I don't know what's going on. There's a massive disconnect. And I'm always like questioning myself. Like, is it me? Maybe I don't know how to play the game. But now that I'm finally getting the weapons that I kind of like more and whatnot, it finally feels like it's clicking a little bit. More. So I'm happy that I didn't do an opinion video up until this point because it would have been really weird. But yeah, I've been enjoying it more and it's been more interesting. Although we'll see how those final bosses are going to treat me because I still feel like a lot of the bosses is just ridiculous. And the New Game Plus, if they're scaling it as hard as what you're saying,
I don't think I want to fight the final boss on New Game Plus. It's the final boss. Like I kept the whole episode. It's legit an hour-long fight for me to finally beat him.
Wait,
like just straight
but it's
hour
like
of attempts.
Oh, it's an hour of attempts. For a second, I was like, wait, an hour of you killing the final boss?
Yeah, it's like a raid boss in Final Fantasy.
That's like a real that's not
test.
That's more like a whole raid tier in Final Fantasy.
Yeah, exactly. It's a raid boss. Yeah. No, he just has a lot of. I mean, the final boss I'll say is really cool. There's a lot of different mechanics and different timings, and a lot of it I was like, this bullshit. And then like once each attempt I started getting more of his mechanics down and finding more of his openings, and then when it like finally clicked, it was like he would do his thing and I would slip through and then get in a heavy attack, and then he would do and I'd slip back through and get in 2 pokes and then follow up with the block and then get in 2 pokes, and it was like it felt closer to like a Sekiro fight even with the broken ass dodges because there was a clear rhythm that I had to like get into. I had to find my rock band, find the song.
Even you that you're like, oh, the dodge feels good. You're still like broken ass dodges. See, there you go.
No, broken ass parries.
Oh, okay. Because you said broken ass dodges, but okay, you mean broken ass parries.
No, I was slipping in. Yeah, no, the perfect guard.
But yeah.
Because I think part of it too is you'll fight enemies, and the camera at times, like you'll go to hit somebody, and instead of it being like this, the hand's like,
yeah, it's out of the camera.
Yeah, and I'm like, is he gonna fucking hit me? I can't see.
You can't read it. Yeah, there was also a time where some points where the bosses will like corner you And you're just like, well, that's it. I'm fucked. Like, it's over. Because
Yeah.
I can't see anything. I can't read anything. I can't dodge. There's nothing. He's just like,
the big body. It's the big body on the screen. That's it.
And he just like completely bodies you. But, you know, I've been getting better at it and I've been enjoying it more. So I still think that there's ultimately my opinion whenever people ask me to describe the game, and tell me if you think that I'm wrong on this, but it feels to me like it's like Sekiro, except way harder, way more punishing in a Bloodborne setting.
I don't necessarily agree with the Bloodborne setting. I mean, the start of the game is very Victorian.
But you get the idea.
But yeah, I mean, everyone's puppet-born, Pinocchio-born. Like, it's that falls apart very fast. The Sekiro comparison, I think, is very apt.
Yeah.
I wouldn't necessarily say that it's harder. I think it's
clunkier.
I think
you're gonna go clunkier.
Clunkier. Because the thing is, it's the lack of refinement on the perfect block that promotes the difficulty. If the perfect block was as tight as Sekiro's is, I think this would be, like, without question, my favorite indie Souls-like. But that perfect block stops it from, stops it from reaching that height where you're like, bing, bing, bing.
And the thing is, though, the way that they kind of like make the dodge work, it almost feels more mandatory to do the parry, which is why I feel like I struggled so hard earlier on in the game, because I'm like, well, I better not even use the dodge. Where what I ended up doing, it was not even dodging. It was just like when I would see certain red attacks on bosses, I wouldn't even try to dodge. I'd just like run away. I was like, no, I'm not dealing with that bullshit. Bye.
No, that's a valid strategy. It's just completely outspace them. I did that. There were a couple attacks where I couldn't get the timing down, and I'm like, I'm just gonna fucking run. Yeah. Just gonna sprint backwards about 10 meters, and then I'll come back in and hit you.
It doesn't feel like that's the intent, right? It feels like they want you to parry.
The intent is for you to get a big perfect guard, and the enemy recoils back, and you follow back up. But they don't
recoil back either. Like
for example, the hidden boss literally has this big combo with a follow up move, and if you get the perfect guard in the follow up move, you like send him reeling, and you have a clear opportunity to get in hits. But I could never get the timing. So instead, I would just rush and get behind him before he did his move.
But a lot of the boss moves, like the red ones, I would perfect parry them, and I would be the one reeling. And I'm just like, well, what the hell? Why am I even bothering? It should be the other way around, right? Like, I blocked this big red attack. You should be the one that gets screwed, not me, because I get sent reeling. Now I can't even reach you with my attacks. I have to like run back, and by the time I get there, he's ready to smack you again. Well, there's a lot of bosses where that happens.
You have the amulet that'll let you dodge through fury attacks. Problem is that the thing weighs like 20 weight units.
Of course it does.
There is the one that lets you infinite dodge. That one's 20 weight units, but that one I kind of get because it lets you dodge when you have 0 stamina.
Oh, it straight up lets you infinite, because I read that one and it's like, oh, you can dodge even when you're low on stamina. I didn't realize that you can just dodge forever.
You can just dodge, yeah. So you could, in theory, you could be like a heavy build, but use like dodge fury attacks and infinite dodge at low stamina, and just be like, you're not gonna hit me, you're never gonna hit me, but you wouldn't have the stamina to attack anything. You'd always be struggling.
Then you're stuck because you're probably also in even slightly heavy then, and the stamina regen is ridiculous. And I'm actually using
both of those on. You would be in heavy.
I'm actually
unless you're talking like 30 points capacity or something.
Yeah, I'm actually using right now the weight amulet and then the 2 stamina amulets, because I'm constantly trying to like just like drill everything.
Yeah, stamina, it hurts. I did
the stamina is really
slightly heavy, and I kept on the stamina regen just to help offset the slower stamina. Because later when you get, so there's a boss you'll fight that has this mechanic called, I think in a break. No, break is the heal one. What am I thinking of? I'm trying to remember what it is, but there's a status where even if a little bit of it is on you, I think it is break. Anyway, point is your stamina regen's super fucking slow.
Oh.
Like if this status is even beginning to accumulate, you're getting like half the normal stamina regen. Oof. So I would deflect the boss, and then I would stand there like, hello? please, can I attack? Like, where's my fucking stamina at, dude?
Just stay there and take it. That's what you get. Yeah, I think overall there's definitely some room for the game to grow, and I'm feeling better about it now, like friggin' 30 hours in, because I remade my character and all of that stuff. And I'm feeling better about it now that I'm finding some of the more powerful weapons. But again, at the start, it's just a giga struggle to really get going properly and feel like you're dealing damage. It's mostly just like, bro, this thing will not go down no matter what I do. Yeah. And sometimes there's even like those elite monsters that you'll catch along the way. They'll just mash you down. They feel even harder than certain bosses.
Yeah, no, elites in this game, elites are outrageous sometimes. The clown you fight in the Burning City, did you get to him yet?
Clown in the Burning City. The very first time? So in Ra's Isabella Street.
Yeah. And you get to the clown at the top. That thing is outrageous. Yeah, it's so strong.
I outranged him, so screw you.
I sure
oh,
didn't.
No, wait. I think that one, I leashed him. So I got to a point where he wouldn't move closer. Like, I think he got like kind of like stuck in a corner or something for a bit. And I was like, I don't care. People like, oh, the cheese. And I was like, bro, this game's been cheesing me for hours. You think I'm not going to cheese it back? I don't care.
I found one of those later, and there's like a sweet spot distance where if you're too far, he'll nonstop do his like wind up extendo punch over and over and over.
I've been on that one today. I died like 4 or 5 times to it. It was ridiculous.
And then the clown that has the double like rusty nail weapons that inflict break on you, where if you try to run,
that's a jester.
Yeah. It'll throw the weapon and drag your ass back. Those things are terrifying.
Yep.
Because if you miss, like, you need to hit the perfect block to break his weapons, because you can't heal because you're getting breaked on. You try to run, he yanks your ass back. He does that jump attack, and then he's like, boom. Boom, and you're like, well, there's all my fucking health.
Drum solo in your face.
Yeah, that thing, dude. The elites are honestly more challenging than the bosses at times in this game.
Yeah, 100%. But still, I do think that there is something there, especially with the visuals that they got going. I feel like the game has really good visuals, pretty good animations.
Dude, have you sat at the hub and just listened to the records?
Yes, and that has gameplay implications when you do that. I don't want to talk too much about it.
The soundtrack is good.
Yeah. And I haven't gotten the biggest surprise. I haven't gotten copyright claimed yet. Maybe later.
Nope. It's all original music.
I know it's original, but sometimes even original, they'll copyright your ass, but they haven't done it so far. So yeah, it is good. Like every now and then, if I have to go take like a bathroom break, I go like, okay guys, here we go. We're at the hub. I'm going to put this music on. And
put this on. Y'all can vibe out for a bit. I'll be back.
But yeah, it is good. They have some really good stuff. I wish they had maybe a couple of more tracks in some of the levels and stuff, because a lot of it does feel kind of empty sometimes, but it's just the nature of a lot of these games too. So
yeah,
whatever. But yeah, that's our discussion for Lies of P. Do you recommend Lies of P? Because I haven't made up my mind yet. Okay.
No, I 100% I recommend it. I think it's definitely worth playing, especially when you consider just how much the game offers. Like, yes, it's linear. Yes, there's a couple things here and there, but like, I mean, if somebody that's been looking for a more traditional Souls experience, I do think it offers that. It offers that more than, the Surge or the original Lords of the Fallen or any of those games.
One of the things that I actually wish that they had done a little bit was I wish they hadn't gone as traditional for the weapons, because like, how you have to invest in weapons? The system that they have with the assembling and swapping handles and all that stuff is just so ripe for experimentation that I wish you didn't have to set the upgrades in stone like you do in traditional Souls games. I wish, like, look, let me pay, I don't know, 2,000 ergo and give me all the stones back. Let me upgrade something else.
Take your materials off the weapon or something.
Yes. Yeah. I would love, and not just that, but even the cranks, because like the cranks are super rare. Like you get like maybe 3 or 4. You get them maybe 3 or 4 in a full playthrough.
The Venigis guys, the butler sells a bunch of them.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. You get to buy like 3 or 4, and you find like
also you get them from all the butterflies. And
I found like maybe 1 or 2. Like if I'm trying to get just, for instance, the advanced crank, I had 1 that I bought off the butler until the 3rd boss. That's it. And the next one that you only get it after you fight the 3rd major boss.
But early on, you don't even really need the advanced cranks, because the only weapons you're going to find before advance already scale with it.
Yeah, but I want to put the advanced crank to make them scale even harder.
Yeah, but you don't have the stats to even, like, the S scaling isn't going to do much. Like, even where I'm at with 30 advanced, putting on an advanced crank, it's like, all right, you get 13 more acid damage. I'm like, whoo. It's 13 more, but it's like not, it's not game breaking.
It's just, I feel like I want to experiment more with it. Like, let me play around with more weapons.
I get it. You want to crank. I understand.
Yeah. Crank. No, but I think that there's a lot of interesting stuff there. I still don't know if I'm going to actually play this one all the way before I decide if I recommend it or not, because it's just been a very kind of like divisive playthrough, pretty much.
You got your ass beat by Has Advanced for so long.
I did get my ass beat. It was not nice.
That's so funny. All right, well, so what are we moving on to? Starfield?
We're moving on to Starfield. So, Starfield, I finished it. I can tell you stuff about it, but how are you on Starfield right now? Because I know you haven't finished it yet.
I really enjoy the side quests. Like, I did the Ranger side quest. That was awesome.
Faction quests. It's not just a side quest, it's a faction quest, but yeah.
Faction quests. Main story is so goddamn boring.
Yep.
Go to the planet, follow the distortion, chase the light balls, get a power. Go to the planet, follow the distortion, chase the light balls, get a power. Shoot the man. Go to the temple, follow the light balls, get the power. Talk to the man. Go to the temple, follow the light balls. I'm like, holy shit, this is dull.
And the thing is, it's not even just that the missions themselves are kind of boring, like you're describing. The story implications of most of those missions are also boring. Like when I went to the first temple and got my first power, I was like, wait a minute. I mean, I know I didn't play through the entirety of Skyrim, but this is kind of like Skyrim in space.
It's Skyrim temples, but those actually involved like fighting your way there and doing stuff. Whereas this is just like, go to the temple and chase the balls.
Yeah,
and I'm like, this is boring.
Whereas
meanwhile, the Ranger quest line, you're like uncovering this big ass mystery, fighting your way through, big ethical dilemma, potential shootout, good fuck around and find out type situation, get a badass ship as a reward at the end. I'm like, this is good. This is fun. Yep. And then I was like, all right, let's continue with the main story. And I'm like,
I think that
this is terrible.
The faction quests really are the way to go. Like straight up, no ifs, ands, or buts. Like faction quests they're just not even in the same league as the main quest. The main quest is just the traditional, you're the chosen one, you are the big, most important and I was like, bro, I just wanted to be a dude in space. That's it. And that's what the faction quest lets you do.
The upgrade system, the skill system in the game is terrible. It's super tedious. I'm not even following it right now. Like the way I started doing is I've been using console commands, and so when I complete the mini quest or whatever attached to upgrading my skill, I just give myself the next point. So I'm not going to spend 4 levels worth of points to, be able to use my pistol slightly better. I feel like after you have acquired that skill, like, oh, you picked up pistol proficiency. Well,
that's
after
how I
I've killed
thought
100,
it worked.
After I've killed 100, I should have the next tier of pistol proficiency. Because
agree.
some of them are super fucking tedious. Like you want to build a badass spaceship. Yeah, it's a space game. All right, install 10 spaceship modules. Okay, do you have a spare perk point laying around? No. Well, when you get one, you can level me up, and then you can install 20 more spaceship modules.
See, that's the thing that bothers me with that one specifically is that I made my first ship and I built it from scratch. Like I deleted Frontier and built the ship from scratch because I love the shipbuilder. It's probably my favorite thing about Starfield. And so I basically completed the challenge to use 5 spaceship parts. And I was like, bro, I just used like 200. Are you kidding me? It's like, level this shit up. Like, what the hell is going on? Yeah. So it's like, oh no, you should probably get a ship and then put like 5. I'll just put like 5 blocks on it, make like a Lego brick, and then upgrade the skill, and then put 15 more blocks on it. It's kind of stupid. Like I
mean,
agree.
like the encumbrance skill, they want you to. It's like run 1,000 meters while over encumbered or at 70% weight, and I'm like,
that was the other thing.
Not doing this. Console command, set weight capacity, 10,000. Great. We're on our way.
Yeah. See, that's the thing. I didn't do that because I don't want to use console commands. I'm much more of a purist when it comes to that type of stuff. And I will tell you, it is fucking miserable. It is
even money. Even I've started just giving myself money. Because I'll complete an outpost. I'll have like 25,000 in credits worth of stuff to sell.
And you
I only have 5,000.
Yeah.
I have 8,000.
the worst part is like I get comments on that because I criticized that on one of my first videos. I was like, bro, this is stupid. And people give me comments like, oh, is it your first Bethesda game? Why don't you sit down and wait for 48 hours? Like, why the fuck do I want to sit down and wait for
tedious, dude.
It's the dumbest shit.
There's a chair behind you if you just wait 48 hours in game, which for some reason is super slow and takes like
yes, exactly. It takes like a full
90
minute.
seconds. Yeah, just staring at your screen.
Yeah, exactly. It's and here's the thing. It's like I play these games to like get immersed. Like we're being very negative, right? But the thing is, Starfield is actually the first Bethesda game I actually liked. Okay?
Imagine going to a scrapyard with a bunch of shit. Hey, I'm gonna sell all this, and the guy's like, best I can do today is $500, and you're like, I got 1,500, and he's like, all right, well,
sit over there.
Sit over there for 2 days, and I'll have another 500 for you.
It's so immersion breaking. Oh yeah, and then your character bravely waited for 48 days because. And here's the thing: when people say stuff like that to me, I'm wondering, do you have actual brain damage? Like you understand that would be the same thing as them just doubling the amount of money that the dude has. Why wouldn't you just double it so that I don't have to waste my fucking time?
Yeah. That's what I do now. I grab everything and then I go to a merchant, and when it says this merchant is out of money, I just keep selling and I keep a vague count, and then I'm like, okay, it was about 15K worth, add 15K, and then I just go on my way.
Yeah, I think that's the best. It's just really stupid. I really don't understand the backwards mentality. And here's the other thing. I also feel like most of the shit, you probably don't feel it because you're just like, oh, set, wait, 10,000, done. But like, if you actually try using the in-game wait, it is beyond asinine.
It's terrible.
It's so bad. And here's the other thing. The
only thing that makes it helpful is if you happen to get, there's like packs you can find that allow you to like have normal movement speed while over encumbered.
Yeah.
You basically have to get one of those packs.
No. So, and here's the other thing. Now I'm going to tell you one thing, again, that you didn't experience, but it's like, what if I tell you there's a massive inconsistency in the game where sometimes you'll be in a dungeon like a zillion miles away from your ship, but you can open your ship inventory and drop stuff on it. And it works. Other times, you're in a building where you can physically see your ship and you can't. And I'm just like, why? What is the logic?
The most egregious thing about the game to me is the in-town mini-maps are just...
Oh, I don't even look at them. I don't care.
It's complete trash. I'm in this town. Where was that gun merchant at? Here's a series of dots and vague icons and just an unnavigatable mess. It was like, well, it's supposed to be a topological map. Yeah, do you typically use a topological map when you're navigating a local settlement? No, because that's fucking stupid.
Because I have a pretty decent sense of orientation, it's because of my Portuguese ancestry. You see, we were the kings of the seas, dude. I have a natural navigation
just not the kings
instinct.
of speaking English because it hurts our hearts after a long day.
It's so not the heart, it's the chest. It's your voice box.
My chest hurts. My voice box.
Anyway, so because I have a pretty decent set, I'd be like, okay, that store's there, that store's there. I know where pretty much everything is, like after spending, 10, 20 minutes in town, and then I just memorize it. Doesn't bother me anymore. But I do agree, there should be maps. It would be way more convenient to just have a map that you can, I can just plop a point here and boom, it works.
Also, why don't we have fucking space vehicles? Why am I landing on this planet and I have to run and spam jump and jetpack and grab dash over and over and over again? Just give me a fucking rover. Like, it's because I know this. All right, so we sound negative. Like, I do like Starfield. I'm having fun with it, but like, I think the problem, honestly, I think Bethesda, I think they tried to go too much because it's like the combat feels like Elite Dangerous Junior. The actual exploration feels like, No Man's Sky Junior. They tried to do like a jack of all trades, and the real saying, jack of all trades, king of none. And it's very much the case here because everything is just a little below what could be fantastic.
But see, let's contrast this now, because like I told you, this is actually the first Bethesda game that I actually like. Because, for instance, when I first tried playing Skyrim, I'm like, okay, this melee combat is just complete garbage. Like, that's it. I'm sorry, it's terrible. It's bad.
Yeah, but who plays vanilla Skyrim?
I know. but I don't think that's a good argument, right? Because you're like, oh, what? Just mod it in. It's like, well, if I'm gonna mod it in, I can also be playing like a hentai simulator in Skyrim. That's also something that you can do.
You can do that as well. I wouldn't suggest it on stream, but you can certainly have your waifus that follow you around with her titties just hanging out, and that's your playthrough.
Yeah, see, that's the thing, right? Because I'm trying to also evaluate these games in a way, right? And so it's like the Skyrim melee combat, huge turnoff, sucked, and I was like, okay, I don't care about this game. I know that a lot of people are like, oh, but you should play it with a bow and with the spellcasting. I'm like, no. I'm a melee guy, okay? I want my shield.
Though,
I want to shield bash somebody.
I like sword and shield. Actually, I found that really enjoyable in Skyrim.
I don't.
Like, because you get the critical and like shield bash somebody, and then they would just like ragdoll 180, and their neck is like popping out of the joints. And like,
when you get the ragdoll kills, yeah, the ragdoll kills are fun. I'll say
just,
that.
And their face is just and just has that like little jiggle where it's like this, and they're slowly seizing up.
That was like after release. That didn't come out like that on release. It didn't have slow motion kills on release. I don't think. Pretty sure you didn't. I think that was patched in later.
You're asking me to remember something from like
anyway, it doesn't
15
matter.
years ago.
The point that I'm making is like I didn't like it because the melee combat was bad. Then I tried Fallout, and it's like I'm not a huge fan of the setting of Fallout. Like I played Fallout for all the way.
I can't do post-apocalyptic games.
Yeah,
they're so dull.
I did play it all the way though, and I did think it was fun, but the setting never really grabbed me. So I was still like, I don't understand why people like these games that much, but whatever. This one, I'm like, I love the space setting. It's amazing. The ship building is awesome. The space combat is good. I don't have any complaints when it comes to that stuff. So all of that stuff put together, I love it.
Building could be much better. And I think part of this is because I'm just coming off of Armored Core, but like if I'm looking at my weapon and then I'm like, maybe I want to upgrade this. Let's see what they have. There's just values. That's it. There's no true comparison.
You can't see what the weapon is like. You're like,
and I'm
this one has more fire rate. That's why it deals less damage and blah blah blah. But yeah.
Yeah, but I want to see numbers, and just having a simple comparison of, hey, this is better in these categories, but your fire speed is going down to a quarter of what it was.
But see, my complaint.
I need that context.
Yeah,
I need that context.
My thing about the ship builder was actually that I wish I could save the ships. So like in
progress?
Yeah, so like say for instance, okay, I want to build a massive ship, but I don't have the credits for it. Let me save it, see how much it costs, save it, and then come back to it later and just pick it up. Because I did that because I was so into designing the ships that I spent countless hours just fiddling around making like the most perfect ship. And it's like, of course, I don't have the money for this now, so delete it, come back later, do it later. But it's like, I wish you could save it. And especially
save
because,
the blueprint.
Yeah, save the blueprint so that you could just do it later. That would actually be really cool. But that was one of the things. And the other thing is, I don't know how much you did of shipbuilding, but like every star yard has their parts.
Different parts.
And I'm just like, can we, after you reach a certain point in the game,
space consolidate this
ship?
Yeah,
exactly. So I just want to have fun building a spaceship. Like, I get that in the beginning. I think it's fine for the beginning because you're like, oh, these guys have this part, these guys have this one. But like, let's say if you get to 90% of the way with the game, it's like, look, I've visited all the shipyards. Let me make my own spaceport in an outpost and then just have all the parts there. Because they're not there. There's a lot of people that think they're there. They're not. Okay, trust me. You can go to your own spaceport and it does have a lot of the parts. Does not have all of them.
I mean, some places don't even have certain parts. Like if you want to get stealth cargoes, there are very few places you can actually get shielded cargo.
Yeah,
for transporting contraband and shit. And it's like, okay. So
I didn't even know that was stealth cargo. I didn't even know that was a thing.
Oh yeah, that's one of the first things I put on. I was like, I ain't getting caught. In the off chance I pick up something,
listen,
I ain't getting in trouble.
You want to know how I did contraband? So there's a space station that you can go to sell, which is very close to like the Sol system or whatever. So basically, I would pick up a bunch of contraband whenever I could find it, and then I would fly to that space station, and then I would sell everything to the guy that's there, and of course he runs out of money. So I'm like, okay, I would go up into a friggin' hallway somewhere, like a dark hallway in that space station where there's nobody there, and I would literally just drop the contraband in the ground and leave and go do something else because I don't want to sit there for 4 and then later come back and it's still there.
This is my contraband drop. Nobody touch this, please.
Exactly.
I did that.
So long
that
as the
shit that was on,
as long as security doesn't see you, you're fine.
that thing that people are doing on TikTok where you go to the casino and put a wastebasket, and I grabbed like a tissue paper holder and scooped all the credits into the wastebasket, and then went up into a room and opened the door and locked it and then gobbled them all up.
I didn't know you could do that. I've seen somebody put a bucket in some dude's head and then steal the whole store.
Yeah, there's funny shit that you can do physics-wise, but yeah, fleecing the casino was worth like a whopping 3,000 credits. It took me like 30 minutes to do.
Wow, that was worth it.
This is painful. I'm picking up all these credit sticks that are worth like $100 a pop. I'm like, wow, this is big spenders here.
But see, that was the thing with the wait, because like once I got to a point with the game where I got to New Game Plus, and I'll tell you one of the things that I really didn't like in New Game Plus, but I got to a point in New Game Plus where I'm like, okay, I think I'm kind of done. I don't feel like progressing any further because I know what's going to happen next in the story, and I'm not interested in a long, drawn-out firefight because I don't have enough ammo, and I don't feel like going out to grind that ammo, so I don't care. I'm kind of just like, done.
I've started console commanding ammo too. Because I would find a gun I'd like, and I would travel to like 4 different places to buy that ammo. And they're like, oh, we only have like 12 bullets in stock. And I'm like, fuck this. I'm not. No, I'm done.
That's the thing. That was another complaint that I had, which is just like, listen, there's too many different types of ammo. Like, you know how Remnant 2 did it? There's long ammo, there's heavy ammo, and there's handgun ammo. That's all you need.
Oh, I'm sorry. You have the 7.5 mm CLL X5. You need the 7.5 ml X21.
It's so dumb. Like, I'm sorry. It's too much. I counted it at one point, and at that point, I had 22 different types of ammo. And it'd be like, oh, man, I found this gun I really like. Too bad I can never use the fucking thing because the ammo never drops. So
I found
frustrating.
An old Earth pistol, which is just like a 1911.
Yep.
But it has like explosive shots. But nobody sells 45 ACP, and I'm like, fuck it, add 1,000. Boop. Okay.
Yep. That's
it.
But see, that's the thing, because those stuff like that, right? Because you're having fun shooting that gun. It's got good gunplay. It's not the best gunplay. I want to be
able to shoot my gun.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's not the best gunplay, but it's got good gunplay, and it's fun enough to just shoot it around. But you can't do it because the game doesn't let you, or maybe you don't have enough weight for whatever reason to get whatever thing you want. Yeah, and it's just like, there's all of these systems that it's almost like there's so much fun to be had here, but we put in all of these systems to remove the fun from it. Right?
I will say, if I was playing on console, I would not finish Starfield. Yeah, on PC with like console commands and mods.
I'm playing on PC. I don't really have an Xbox, but yeah.
Did you put on Star UI?
No, I didn't. I got used to the garbage UI that the game has.
It actually makes it usable. Like, you pull up your weapons, and it's like an actual list of weapons that you can sort by the stats. I'm like, oh my god, what a simple concept.
I got used to it, so it didn't bother me. The UI itself doesn't bother me. What bothers me is just the weight limits. The weight limits are way too restrictive for just about anything. It doesn't make any goddamn sense.
Join us, Rui. Join console commands.
But so I was in New Game Plus, right? And when I decided that, I'm like, okay, I'm not interested in just continuing, because I finished the game. I did like 2 faction quests, which was the Rangers and Ryujin, and I love them. I think the faction quests were the best time I had with that game. And so I was like, okay, so now I just want to make a really cool spaceship, right? And I don't have that much money because I'm in New Game Plus. And I became aware of that bug that happens in Aquila, where there's that store where if you look to a puddle of water or something, you can loot the whole store. But yeah, there's a bug in Aquila where if you look at a puddle of water in front, it's like the first store when you enter the city on the left, you look at the puddle of water in front of that store, and for whatever reason, you can loot the whole store. Then you can walk into the store and sell it back to him. Except you still got that.
And then you rest 48 hours, and then you do it again.
Yeah, and then you do it again. But I was like, look, I just want to make a couple bucks to go make a spaceship. Like, that's it. And I don't want to fiddle with consequences. So I go in there and I loot the whole thing. And then I realized, well, this guy doesn't have enough money to do it. Now I have to slow walk to my ship. And I fly to the space station with a guy that has 11,000 credits. and I sell like not even a tenth of what I just looted from that store. And I was like, you know what? I don't even want to make a spaceship anymore. I think I'm good.
This is why console commands exist, because as soon as I encounter that situation, I was like, fuck this. Add item .00000F 25,000 and I'm done.
Yeah.
I'm not. I mean, to be fair, I'm like, my thing is when I'm playing these games, and it was the same with Baldur's Gate 3, my first priority is fun. If I'm doing something that's fucking tedious, like when I was playing Baldur's Gate, I got the spell limitations. Like I understand why it's there. I understand it's D&D moveset. I get it. But I got tired of the fact that I would do 2 fights, short rest, 2 fights, short rest, long rest. And I'm like, dude, I'm having a long rest like 2 or 3 times a stream just to progress. And so I put on I did a mod that like doubled my spell limits. And instantly I was like, okay, now I can get through like a significant chunk of the stream before I'm needing to long rest and get back my skills.
Well,
because
that would have been go ahead.
No, I was just saying, shit's annoying.
Yeah.
Like I get why it exists, and I know purists like it, but like I'm here to play and go on an adventure, not fucking take naps constantly just so I can use my class.
I agree in some of that stuff. We'll talk more about that when we get to Baldur's Gate, but just like to wrap up the Starfield thing. It's like, so I got really bored of that, and I think that one of the things that really bothered me is like, do you know how New Game Plus works in Starfield?
No, I'm probably not going to do it anytime soon.
Yeah. So the way it works is it's actually interesting to go through New Game Plus because there's an acknowledgement that your character's been through this before, and you can kind of like skip most of the main story and do it like.
Is it related to the plot cycle? Or are you just in another? Okay.
Yeah. So. What I was like, okay, I want to check this out. I've done all of these things in the world. And so I jump in New Game Plus. And it's interesting seeing like different dialogue options that you get and all of that stuff. But basically the start of the New Game Plus cycle is once again, okay, go get these artifacts. Except this time there's no like in between quests because you skip the story. So you just tell everybody, listen, I know how this goes. Just point me in the right direction. You go and you get all the artifacts and you come back, right? And so I'm doing that. And the thing that instantly killed it for me was, so I spent all this time working on my ship. Your ship doesn't come with you. It's gone. They take your ship away. I was like, bro, this is a space game.
Do you keep your credits at least?
No. Take your credits away. You keep your skills. Fuck. Keep your skills and your powers. That's it.
No, I ain't touching you. Take my ship and my money? No, sir.
See, and your guns too. They take everything.
What?
Yeah, they take your guns. It's like, look, the guns doesn't bother me. The credits doesn't bother me. But the moment you take the ship that I spent God knows how many hours working on, I was like,
you can't.
Instant immersion broken.
Especially when the other space people have their fucking weird ass mega ships.
They give you one of those.
Theirs. I don't want that though. I don't want my ship.
People were telling me like, oh yeah, but you got one of these. And I was like, I get a sperm with vertical wings. That's great, dude. Thanks.
I don't want the sperm. I want my
yeah,
ship.
but it's like, that thing kind of like turned me off of it. But overall, let's put it like this. This is the best Bethesda game that I've ever played because Skyrim doesn't really do it for me. Fallout doesn't really do it for me. This did it for me, but it still has a lot of shortcomings, and these are shortcomings that, as far as I'm aware, are present in pretty much all the Bethesda games, like the weight restrictions, the vendor bullshit, all of that stuff. And that is things that I really feel like Bethesda just need to get their heads out of their asses. And it's like, hey, maybe we shouldn't do this. Maybe vendors should just have infinite money so that we can, or at least have a reasonable amount of money. Like, for instance, Baldur's Gate 3, vendors don't have infinite money, but they have a reasonable amount of money.
They have enough. Usually if you can't sell it all to a vendor.
Yeah, you can cycle through 2 or 3 vendors. Yeah, you'll cycle through 2 or 3 vendors, and usually you can do it. And it's convenient. You can kind of like, I'll teleport here, sell here, teleport there, sell there. And in this game, it's just like selling anything is a goddamn chore. Sometimes you just end up not even looting things. You're like, I would like to loot that, but you know what? Fuck it. I don't want to deal with it. I didn't even, there's tons of stuff that I wanted to loot that I was like,
or at the very least, there should be like when you get the trade authority kiosk. This is a kiosk. Why does this kiosk have a limited amount of money? This isn't like, oh, I only have $5,000 in the drawer today at the shop. This is a kiosk. It's like me selling shit to Amazon. Amazon isn't running out of money. They will buy all my shit and give me money for all my shit. Was it a $25,000 worth of junk? Sure.
Yep. But overall, I still enjoyed it. I like what I've played of it. And it was very frustrating to see like the discourse that was happening around the game. Because it's just like people that never even play the game, just like 2 out of 10. It's like,
well, it's anytime there's an exclusive, you're going to have console war bullshit. That always happens. I think...
I don't know if I was more aware of it this time, but I felt like it was ridiculously way above and beyond.
No, I've had to ban people pretty much every stream of the game because people will just show up and they'll be like, trash game, garbage. And I'm like, why are you here, bro?
Yeah, exactly.
Why did you go out of your way to click on this stream just to talk shit about it? Leave. And they're like, oh, well, I can't have an opinion. And I'm like, nobody cares about your opinion in this space. Like I have to at every stream, I have to make the example. Like you wouldn't go to a fucking baseball game, sit down, and then be like, yeah, baseball sucks. Yeah, this sport's fucking dumb. Bunch of nerds hitting the ball. Everyone would be like, get the fuck out. Why are you here? And it's the same concept. Like do not engage with things you don't like. Because not only is it a waste of your time, but like honestly, it's kind of a self-insult to your own intelligence.
I wouldn't even say. Go ahead. Sorry.
Well, I was just saying, like if you never in my I'm sure you get this. You have kids, you have a wife, you have a job, you have all this shit going on. I do not have the free time to go and seek out something that I specifically don't enjoy just to cast hate at it. There's no time for that. There is an infinite amount of other things I could be spending my time on. And so when I see people that do that, instantly I'm like, your fucking brain is as smooth as a goddamn bowling ball. You could be doing everything, anything. You could be going to the fucking gym, getting a workout in. You could be going out and trying to have a social life and meeting people, spending time with your significant other, spending time with your kids. But it tells me that none of these things exist in your life because apparently you're choosing to just flop your little limp cock all over the keyboard and type insults about a game that you're not playing. Like who are these people?
It is really weird to me. Like the one thing that I would say is I wouldn't necessarily say don't seek out things you don't like. I think that sometimes I personally like looking at things that I don't like just to see if I change my mind or something. But one of the things that I wouldn't do is like, okay, I'm really curious if Fortnite has changed enough that I'm going to like it. And I go watch a Fortnite stream, right? And everybody's having a good time. And I go in there and I'm like, trash game. Game's ass. It's I wouldn't do that. I'm like, oh, I guess I still don't like it. And then I'd leave.
Well, I think that Honkai Star Rail, I had a lot of people like, are you going to play it? And so I pulled up a stream. I watched it for about 15 minutes and I was like, yeah, I don't think this is for me. Yeah. Turned off the stream. That was it.
Yep.
That's the logical. I'm not, hey, this looks like shit. Like, why? What does that contribute besides making me look like an asshole? It doesn't. It contributes nothing.
I just feel like there's a lot of people that just don't have any social skills. And for whatever reason, they just feel the need to insult something that they don't like. It's like, I can't stand it. Can't stand you playing this thing. Okay, then don't watch it. Like, what do you want?
Stop having fun on this stream that I clicked.
Yeah, exactly. Like, because
I came here and you're playing something I don't like.
I was having fun. I'm just like, listen, I'm enjoying myself. Leave me the fuck alone. Oh man. But yeah, I think overall, right? I feel like we've been super negative about it, but I had a pretty fun time with Starfield, regardless.
I was enjoying it more before I started trucking along on the main story quest.
Yep. I 100% agree. I think that the main story quest is a disservice to the rest of the game. Because if you had...
Now I'm at the point where it's like, do I just push through it?
Yeah.
Or do I say fuck it and start doing faction quests instead? And then when I reach a point where I'm like, I think I'm happy with this, I wrap it up.
Yeah.
I feel like I have to push through just for the sheer fact of like, I complete the story.
I'm going to say something that I don't know if people are going to agree with me or not. The ending of it is, I don't think it was worth it. Like, it didn't make me look any better at the story. Let's put it like that. All right. I finished it. The final encounter, like you've done the Free Ranger quest. The final encounter of the Free Ranger quest is cooler than the final encounter of the main quest. and it's not even
final encounter of the
close.
Free Ranger quest is
It's
badass.
really cool. Yeah, it's cool.
Dude's like, you should go away, and I'm like,
I don't think
we're
I
gonna
will.
find out, Buckaroo.
Exactly.
I'm ready to go right here.
It's cool. It's some really cool stuff. Whereas like the ending of the main quest is like, yeah, sure, there's a shootout and there's powers and there's all, but it's like, meh. I didn't really, I wasn't like super engaged with the combat.
Just like
and
a squeaky fart in the wind, petering
yes,
out.
I didn't really care that much. Like, sure, I think the main story is like, I think for a lot of people, they might actually enjoy it because a lot of people love the chosen trope, right? Oh, I'm the chosen one. Me, when it comes to space, like, no, I just want to be a dude in space. I don't want to be.
This doesn't even feel like a chosen one trope, though. It feels like, hey, you lucked out this time and you're dumb. Okay?
Yeah, I mean, it's like, it's luck, and then you become the chosen one because of luck. That's what I like that, kind of. Whatever.
Which, like, after all this, I'm going to go actually play Starfield today. So I'm supposed to stream it today, and I'm just like...
It's like, so the way that I would go, I think you would enjoy yourself more if you just do faction quests until you feel like you're done.
But I want to finish the story. Does it like force you into New Game Plus?
I mean, it's like there's a point where, because I knew that there was going to be a point where I was going to go into New Game Plus, you can kind of identify when that.
I'll just make a save.
Yeah, you make a save
before I get there.
Yeah, that's what I did.
And
so like I have a save
like,
before
okay.
New Game Plus, so you can.
Because my thing is, honestly, I
want
want to get through it before I start on Phantom Pain, because that'll gobble up 30 hours
Phantom
easy.
Pain.
Phantom Liberty. Phantom Liberty. Man, listen, I'm tired. You know the day I've had.
I know.
It's been a
it's been rough.
It's been a long day.
But yeah, I would definitely recommend just do more faction, because like faction quests are the best. I did the Ryujin one, which is kind of like you're almost like a secret corporate spy. That one is really cool. I highly recommend Ryujin.
I've heard the marine one is really good too.
I haven't done that one. There's one which is the Crimson Fleet one. That's also really good. I haven't done that one, but I just did the beginning of it, and the beginning of it was like awesome. I want to eventually go do that one as well. But like, I want them to patch up the game a little bit more, and maybe I'll eventually mod it, because I have gotten to that point where it's like, listen, I just don't want to deal with your bullshit weight restrictions that are garbage, with your bullshit vendor limits, which are
just
garbage.
Fucking put on your console commands.
I'm close. I'm very close, because
them.
I do have the PC version of the game, so I could just do that. Just
takes like half a second. No more weight limit. No more credits.
Yeah,
you play the game with your own rule set for. Oh yeah, the skills. Yeah, I finished that. Now the skill just.
The skills don't actually bother me that much, because as far as I understand, you can have all the skills if you play enough. You can just level up all the way. So
just spend 150 hours in Starfield and you'll get all the skills.
Yeah, but fundamentally, I think that if people like Bethesda games, I think it's worth it. I mean, maybe the thing was that I said in my final review is I think it's worth $60. I don't know if it's worth $70. You know what I'm saying?
I think it's worth it on PC if you have mods and you can do whatever you want in it. Just I wanna build cool ships. Actually, I don't like how restrictive shipbuilding is. Just let me build my big fucking ship without traveling to 8 different starports. Just
that's the thing that I wanted. That's the thing that I wanted.
I just want to build my
ship. At least in New Game Plus. Give me like a Starfield that I can just... Actually, no. In New Game Plus, just don't fucking take my ship away. How about that? Just don't take my ship away.
There should just be a hub where it's like, oh yeah, this is like... This is the spaceport hub. This is the place. They have everything.
Like the Anomaly in No Man's Sky. Here you go. This has everything that you need. Boom, done.
Yeah, just give me a place where I can get all my shit. Even slap a premium price on it. I don't care.
Yeah.
Just want to build my ship.
But anyway, that's Starfield. My thing is, do faction quests. They're way cooler than the main quest. It's not even remotely close to...
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's move on to the final item on the list, which is Baldur's Gate 3. And this is going to be like a divided discussion. So first we're going to go in, no spoilers, and then like midway through we'll give everyone a warning, and then we're going to go into spoiler territory, because I do want to talk about some spoiler stuff on Baldur's Gate. So how did you like Baldur's Gate 3?
I loved Baldur's Gate 3. I thought it was phenomenal. I accidentally broke my oath and became a Darkness Paladin, which fundamentally didn't change fucking anything.
But you were a Vengeance Paladin, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
There's an accidental oath break, which is apparently the whole meme with the game. Like, everyone just keeps accidentally breaking their oaths without... Oops, there go... Oops, all my oaths.
I dropped them. They're gone.
Yeah, but what's crazy is, like, they're like, you have broken your oath, Forsaken. And then I go to Oathbreaker, and it's like, still have Divine Smite, still have Thunderous Smite, still have Fiery Smite. I'm like,
why did I need my oath to begin with?
Yeah, I didn't need my oath at all. I could still channel the righteous fury of the Lord into this blade. Like, nothing has changed except I can now command skeletons. I see this as a complete victory.
You became a Necromancer Paladin?
Yeah, Oathbreaker gets command undead and summon skellies, and
what the hell?
Yeah, it's pretty wild. I didn't even end up using it because most of the time I was too busy smiting. So.
Yeah, I heard that paladins are like giga powerful. They just like
paladins are insane.
Everything.
Dude, I could if I got a smite crit on something, I would get a smite crit, and then because I crit, I would get a reaction smite crit. Yep. So I'd be like, smite, smite, dead. Like the hag fight, I walked up, did 2 smites, which resulted in a total of 4 divine smites. Killed her in 1 turn.
I hate you. Dude,
you smited her into oblivion.
Listen, you have no idea how my hag fight went. It was struggle city, dude. Everybody kept dying. I would keep resurrecting them and they would die again and I would resurrect them again. It was struggle city, but I beat her. I beat her.
Dude, I played, so shortly after I started, it felt weird having so many people in base, so I did
I know you had the mod.
Yeah, 6-person party mod. Yeah. Which I think that improved it a lot, because it felt so weird to gather this whole party and be like, all right, we're going to go off to solve the tadpole in our brain problem. Y'all just stay here. What do we do? Just nap, fuck, read a book. We don't just hang out here. Like, should we? No, just stay here. So bringing more of the party along, I think it enhanced the experience a lot, especially because we have more party diversity, different types of people doing different types of things, which I liked. For a while, I had the extra skills, which I think that just allowed me to play longer without resting, which was nice. What else did we do? I think those are the only 2 big mods I had.
So, like,
I don't think if there was anything else.
What was one of the, without getting into spoilers, what was one of the most memorable, like, funny things that you got to do in the game, or some of the really funny stuff that you got around doing?
One of the funniest things I got to do involves the approach to the final boss, so that's kind of spoilers.
No, I probably did the same thing. I just rushed it. Dead. Done.
Well, so. All right, so on the way to the final boss, there's like you have to go left or right.
Yeah.
And you're being attacked from both directions. But if you make it to the top, the fight is over. You just make it to the top, everything's good. Once I realized this, I used my druid to turn everybody into clouds. And we just we skipped the bullshit. We went zoop. We clouded around the door on turn 1, and then clouded our way up to the entrance door on cloud turn 2, and then hit the door, disabled all the bullshit, healed on up, and then went into the boss fight. Jesus Christ. And then I went into the boss fight as clouds as well. So when the boss fight starts, and the shit hits the fan, so to speak, I'm like, we're just gonna fly on over to the end of the arena. We're not getting. Oh wait, he's gonna attack us. We'll summon this guy. Go distract for us. Go, my clouds. Keep flying.
That's funny. But
cloud form OP.
Yeah. So some of the funnier stuff for me was more like doing barrelmancy, blowing stuff up with barrels. That was so much fun.
Oh, I also got when you finally confront the big bad. And there's dice rolls that you're supposed to lose, and then you're rescued by your friend. I rolled a nat 20 on the one you were supposed to lose.
Oh, you lucky bastard!
And I was like, oh! And everyone in chat's like, what the fuck? Like, you're not supposed to be able to win that.
You modded it in. I know you did. You cheated.
No, sir. did not mod my dice rolls, but I did. I was no stranger to save scumming. I did not care.
No, I avoided as much as I could unless it's like, say, a dialogue choice because of the way they write it. It would give me like a strange dialogue that would not correspond to what I was expecting. In those moments, I would potentially save scum.
Well, that was
not
my
intent when I said.
I usually wouldn't like save scum fights that often. But yeah, sometimes I would save and just be like, all right, I want to see, what happens if I follow this path.
Yeah. It's like, I think that the whole save scum discussion, the way that I put it to people is like, listen, this is your game, you bought it, just play
the
crap you want. I recommend that, like, at least at some point, try not doing it if you're curious about it. Because
the thing with fights is like, if I'm playing a fight and the fight starts going bad, I would just be like, all right,
it's a waste of time.
The save. I'm gonna reload the save.
I've wasted a lot of stream hours because of that. Because I was
and people are like, well, why don't you just wait until you die? I'm like, so wait 10 more minutes until the party's finally dead.
Yeah, to
just
waste
reload
your
back
time
to what
and
I'm
mine.
Gonna do now.
Yeah, to waste
clearly this encounter is not going how I thought it would.
Yeah,
I played poorly. We will restart this.
So another thing is, who did you romance?
I tried to romance Karlach, but it never happened.
You failed?
The romance was there. I hit all the cues. There was no snoo. I don't know what happened. I kept going back and resting.
You shouldn't have broken your oath. Karlach does not like oath breakers. Maybe I don't know.
I don't think that's the case because I don't know. I don't know if I was supposed to like do it sooner, but like even towards the end, we get the thing where it's like, hey, your chest isn't on fire anymore. It's fully under control. It's freaky time. And then freaky time never happened. I think I was just too far into the game.
Let me explain to you why you didn't get to romance Karlach. Because Karlach is my wife. You understand? You don't get to romance my woman. I romanced Karlach too.
Shadowheart wanted the romance, but I turned her down for Karlach.
Everybody wants the romance, though. Everybody's like horny as hell. Like, listen, Gale, for some reason in my playthrough,
Gale, you'll get dialogue with Gale, and you'll be like, your choices are like, I don't want to talk anymore. Let me rub your belly like a cat, or show me a magic trick with your cock. It's like, what are these options?
It is weird because it's almost like you can't just be friends. You're trying to friend zone Gale, and it doesn't work. He doesn't take the hint. Because, like, listen, I was already in a relationship with Karlach. I had already done the whole shebang, and Gale, like, literally, after we do a fight, like, our characters are covered in blood and guts of horrible monsters, and my man just goes like, you know what? I'm so horny right now. I was like, what the fuck, Gale? Stop.
Didn't they say that they had to patch it because there was, like, something with, like, the horniest multiplier that was off on characters, and they were hornier than they were supposed to be?
It must have been Gale's. Like, listen, Gale, at one point, it's like there was a quest where you leave somebody there, like an apparition, whatever, to tell you to go talk to him. And I wanted to go talk to him because I was like, oh, I want to see where his quest leads. It's like, no, he just wanted the bone, dude. I was like, what the fuck? And the worst part is if you go there and then you deny him, he's like, I fucking hate you. And it's like, bro, what is going on with this character? He's like bipolar or something. He just wants the bone nonstop.
Everything, man. Everyone in that game's horny.
Yeah, but no, I romance I'll tell you a couple of things about the Karlach romance when we get into the spoiler section. It's interesting. But your overall thoughts, like, did you experience any of like the jankiness in Act 3?
Yeah, Act 3 was definitely the most unpolished of the acts.
Yeah.
To be fair, I also kind of bursted through it because by the time I got to Act 3, Armored Core was like it was very close, and I was like, listen, I need to be through this. And so like I got to Act 3 and I pretty much like I
was at that time, just for context, at that time I was doing both games at the same time. So I was like, I will stream Baldur's Gate, stop the stream, go record Armored Core 6, and then the next day stream Baldur's Gate again and repeat.
So I was trying to figure out a way into the Ironworks facility, I ended up stumbling into the house, the Shadowheart quest line by mistake. So I did that. after getting through that, I went back. I did the ironwork stuff with like the big,
Yeah.
big constructs and all that. And then I was going through. I was just exploring the sewers, and I ended up finding my way into the House of Blood or whatever.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I did the Dark Urge quest line while I was there, and then I was like,
oh,
all right,
you were doing Dark Urge as well, because I didn't do Dark
Yeah.
Urge. I did normal.
Yeah, Dark Urge was dope. So I got through that, and then I was like, all right, let's just go for Dickhead, whatever his name was, Godorf, Gadoosh.
Yeah, Gortash.
Yeah, Gortash. Which the Gortash fight that bugged out on me, so that was not fun.
I don't want to talk too much about those specifics, but yeah. So you had a lot of bugs in Act 3, and how did you feel? And this is again without spoilers, so don't give any context. We're going to talk about this soon, but how'd you feel about the ending of Act 2? Because that's one of my biggest complaints in the game is the way that Act 2 ends.
I liked how Act 2 ended. I think.
Okay.
The ending I got at least. I thought that was pretty.
It's
I had a
definitely
pretty good
a
wrap
me
up on
thing.
Act 2.
We'll talk more about that one in specific, but I think it might definitely be a me thing because overall, once I got to the ending of Act 2, I didn't like the story anymore. Like I straight up did not like the direction that the story of the game took. And and here's the thing: when I say this, most people misinterpret as me saying the story is bad, which I don't think is the case. I think the story is good.
We'll have
but
to
I
talk
don't like
about
it.
our
Yeah.
specific Act 2 choices, because my Act 2 was like a triumphant culmination of badassery.
Okay, so that'll definitely be interesting. But so overall, you're still like super satisfied with the game because I'm also still I still really like the game.
If I wasn't so busy right now, I'd already be doing my evil playthrough. I want to do a Spores Druid playthrough, and then recruit Paladin Mommy and have her murder everyone in the Grove, and then I just want to do super murder hobo playthrough.
Yeah. See that was the thing for me was when I started because like I chose to play as a bard and you have no idea the amount of cool shit you get to do as a bard. It is insane.
I'm sure there's lots.
It is one of the most fun. I think hands down, like out of all of the CRPGs I've ever played, I think this one's the best and it's not even close. And it was some of the most fun shit that I got to do in a game.
Well, yeah, you can straight talk bosses into killing themselves in some scenarios. Yeah.
Yep. Did that twice at least, which is really good.
Yeah. Like, oh, you know what? You should
just off yourself.
You should probably try putting this dagger in your chest and see what happens. And they're like,
you know what? You got a point.
Good idea.
It's like Jedi mind trick.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
It's really fun. The amount of stuff that you can do.
No, I mean it's absolutely a masterpiece of a game. Like the thing is, we've never had a CRPG with this level of freedom, with this flexibility. Even like minute things, like you find like a gear or a crank or something that won't open, you throw oil at it and you can use it again.
Yep.
Like there's such an attention to detail on small things and flexibility of choice and freedom of approach that really we just haven't seen in a game like that, or really in games in general before. So like even if I like Armored Core more just because I'm a whore for that game, like Baldur's Gate is undeniably just a phenomenal success.
It's just, again, to me, the only thing was that I started not liking the story, and that really ended up tainting my experience. But I'm hoping that maybe the Dark Urge playthrough will get me to do some different choices.
Dirge can do some stuff.
Yeah.
That's really I want. So we'll talk about it in the spoiler section.
Yeah.
There's some stuff I wanted to do that I didn't, that I think resulted in even a more badass outcome. But I still kind of wish I had done it because it would have been really fucking cool.
But basically, when it comes to this one, guys, this is like the easiest recommendation from both of us. Because for some, I had to do one of those, I wanted to do a video where I talked about the things that I didn't like about the story. So because of the YouTube algorithm and all that, and I put like a title like, I loved Baldur's Gate 3 until I didn't. Like super clickbaity and shit. And now everybody's convinced that I hate the game. And that's not the case, but nobody actually watches the video. They just look at.
Game is phenomenal.
Yeah, 100%. But anyway, we're going to be talking about spoilers now, guys. So if you haven't finished Baldur's Gate 3, I would not recommend that you listen because one of the coolest things is experiencing the story for yourself. So thank you guys for watching and all that stuff. There's going to be links to Cowboy's channel in the description of the video and all that. And we'll see you guys in the next podcast. And now, spoilers in 3, 2. Okay.
All right. So tell me about Karlach's titties.
Dude, no, listen. The first time that you have sex with Karlach is just like super vanilla. And by the way, I straight up in my stream, I was like, yep, nudity on. Don't give a fuck. Demonetize me. I don't care. I didn't get demonetized. It was not a problem because they do the
tasteful nudity.
It is. It's not really like, for instance, when I was in character creation,
you were
big
really,
dwarven schlong, and I was like, "Whoa, shit! You can't do that, right? You can't just be like in character creation, just like a big floppy schlong hanging around." But like,
I had nudity on, but I had genitals off because I figured genitals would get hit.
No. I mean, maybe for you because you get more views, but because I get less views, then probably I didn't like touch. Maybe like I'll still get demonetized later.
Still in my Witcher playthrough back from the day, those were, which I'll blame chat. 'Cause you go to that video and it's like you can see like watch time and like the most watched is like the scene right where Geralt is like bareback in the prostitute. I'm like, damn, YouTube be horny.
People like fapping off.
The parents blocked Pornhub and they're like, this is the best I can get.
It's like, did you have face cam? They're like looking at you and being...
Thank God I did
they're
not.
Like, they're putting their hand to like cover the corner of the screen.
Just gotta keep my way out of it. No.
Stop looking at me, cowboy. Anyway,
yeah, but no, she never. I don't know what happened. I was hitting all the steps. She was just like, I can't wait, like tonight, and I was like, yes, tonight. And then I go to rest, and it's just like, big events are happening. It's time to go to war. You're under attack, and I'm like,
no,
what the fuck? What about the booty? What happened to the booty?
The first scene is very vanilla, and I don't know. Do you want me to tell you the second scene?
Yeah, sure.
So the second scene, she puts you in the bed. She gives you a prostate massage. Yeah, straight up.
Sounds very on brand for Karlach.
Yep. People are just like, oh man, you've ever had a devil finger? I guess I have now. No, but it was really cool. Like the Karlach romance in particular is really cool because then there's implications when you kill Gortash. Because that's like the thing she wants to have her vengeance. She has like a complete breakdown.
I let her have the final hit on him.
Yeah, me too. But she has a complete breakdown. Now you want to hear the most hilarious thing that I did in the Gortash fight? So I get a spell like really late in the game, a bard spell. I don't think it's just bard. I think more classes can have it. But this spell basically is a spell that you can't resist. At least I don't think you can resist. And it just forces you to dance. So you know how you have those machines when you're in the Gortash fight and they drop grenades? So they dropped grenades right on top of him. And I was like, well, you're going to dance on top of those two grenades. He's just like dancing. And the grenades go off and he dies.
Dude, I wish. So I enter the cathedral, start fighting stuff. For whatever reason, Gortash aggros while he's upstairs. So I go through my turn, enemies go through their turn, and then there's a turn where Gortash like moves 5 steps and ends his turn. The one person upstairs does like, divine favor and buffs. The guy she buffs looks at her and goes, divine favor, buffs. And then there's another guy that just runs in a circle. And then we all take our turns again, and then this happens again. So this continues. And so then when it's time to make your way up, I'm having to make my way up, like climb up the ladder a little bit, end a turn, climb up the ladder a little bit, end a turn. And eventually when everyone gets upstairs, there was no portal for me. I went through the kitchen and then stacked some boxes, climbed up onto some scaffolding, climbed a ladder.
In turn-based mode?
In turn-based mode.
Oh, God.
And then when I finally get up there, the two people are still circle jerking in the corner, buffing each other. Gortash finally decides to run out of the cathedral and meet me. So he comes out to fight me by himself with my party of 6. and it was like that fucking Jujutsu Kaisen episode where they're just throwing hands. He gets the absolute shit beat out of him. Then his like one flunky comes outside, guy gets instantly annihilated. We're still in combat because the two people are still bugged and just having a circle jerk, buffing each other back and forth. And I just go in the room and cast some big spells and kill them, and then combat finally ends.
Yeah. But, my Gortash experience was better, but my Act 3 was bugged out like all hell. There was a ton of stuff that didn't make sense. Like, listen, did you do the Sorcerer's Sundries quest?
No, skip that one.
So, Sorcerer's Sundries is for Day Malin. Did you save Day Malin?
Malin. Is that the council? No.
No, she's the lady with the wings. She's got wings. She's the Night Song, basically.
Oh, Angel Lady. Yeah, I saved her. I didn't do her follow-up quest, but yeah, I saved her.
So her follow-up quest takes place in Sorcerer's Sundries at the top of it, because the wizard, who's like the big wizard of Baldur's Gate, he's like up there, and he's like, oh, I want to find her, and I want to imprison her, or whatever. He wanted to extract the power of immortality from her the same way that the other guy was doing it in Act 2, right?
Well, so hang on, rewind. Let's talk end of Act 2 first.
Okay. We'll start with end of Act 2. So my end of Act 2, it is revealed to me, which I suspected because from the beginning I don't trust this Dream Visitor guy. I made it a guy, and people were like, that's going to be weird because that's supposed to be you're supposed to have sex with it, and I was like, no. That doesn't make sense because they say it's your protector, but apparently in the beta or whatever, that was like your sex interest.
That was your dream companion or whatever.
Yeah. But I chose, no, this is my guardian, whatever. It's going to be another dwarf, and it's going to be really cool. Whatever, I don't care. So I basically, the whole time, I'm like, I don't trust you. Like, every chance that I get, I would tell him, I don't fucking trust you. Like, I'll do this thing now, but I don't trust you. I don't trust you. And then eventually, when you get to the end of Act 2, it's like, I'm an illithid. No, I'm straight up a mind flayer, not just an illithid, whatever. Yeah. But I'm a mind flayer, and I was like, I always fucking knew you were a goddamn mind flayer
that broke free of the mother brain.
I don't care. Fuck him. I don't listen. You know the goblins in Act 1? I butchered every last one of them. You know why? Because I don't negotiate with goblins. I don't negotiate with greenskins. They all fucking die. I went into their fort. I killed every last one of them. I don't negotiate with these people. Same thing with mind flayers. And so that's what really fucking pissed me off, because the game does give you the choice of like, hey, you can kill him. And I was like, you're goddamn right I am. I'm going to kill him.
You killed him?
Yeah, I killed him. I killed the Emperor. The literal second you kill him, you transform into a mind flayer. There's not even anything else. Just like, yep, you're a mind flayer. Now you're gone. Game over.
Yeah, because he's protecting you.
See, that's bullshit, because you're protected because you're inside the prism.
No, but the prism is being maintained by him.
Okay, in that case, let me tell you what happened to me in Act 3. In Act 3, I go because I have like the hammer to free the other guy, the Orpheus guy that's in there. I have the thing. And so I break the first stone. The second I break the first stone, Emperor leaves. Where's my protection? Emperor told me, fuck off. I don't like you anymore. I'm leaving. You're done. You're going to die. And he leaves. I break one stone. Orpheus is still in prison. He still can't do anything. Yet I'm not transformed into a mind flayer.
Because you're close enough to Orpheus that his power is protecting you.
Yeah. Sure makes perfect sense. No, but anyways, so I killed him, and that really fucking pissed me off because you can't kill him. You instantly transform into a mind flayer. But yet in Act 3, I can, start breaking him and he leaves and I don't have his protection anymore. Yet somehow everything's fine. I'm not a mind flayer. Why? Doesn't make sense.
Well, also in Act 3, the mother brain is not following the command to immediately turn you anymore. Mother brain is doing her own shit.
Mother brain is even more powerful. She can turn you even faster. And that's the other thing. Supposedly,
but Mother Brain is waiting on your bitch ass to bring her all the stones for her nummy tummy.
Which, by the way, is implied that that's what Mother Brain is doing since the beginning. So then why would she turn me into the Mind Flayer at the end of Act 2 if that completely goes against the whole plan?
But at the when she would turn you, they haven't done Gortash and all them haven't done their shit yet. So it wouldn't matter at that part because the other people were still in the capital.
They were enslaving the brain already.
She was, but she hadn't broken loose yet.
But it is implied that the brain has been planning this since the very beginning, which is why the brain lets
I don't know.
Emperor...
My point is, stop hating illithids. No, Emperor is a bro. Emperor is an absolute bro.
Fuck that guy. Fuck him, okay?
He's an absolute bro, and he joined my cloud gang, and we did cool cloud shit.
So you left Orpheus inside the fucking artifact?
Fuck yeah, I did. I don't know, Orpheus. I had the mother, the Lae'zel matriarch mommy lady. She came to me. I think she was the cock block. Instead of banging Karlach, she wanted to show up, and she was like, surrender Orpheus to me and blah, blah, blah. I'll protect you. I'll make you my dragon knight. I'll give you fucking dragons. And I was like, eat dirt, bitch.
And she killed you.
No, she didn't kill me. She fucked off.
Yeah. See, Vlakith killed me. When you first get to interact with Vlakith, she's like, oh, you gotta go inside the artifact and you gotta kill the person that's in there and blah, blah, blah. And I'm just like, I don't think you're a god. Like, I just straight up say, I don't think you're a god. And she's like, what? What the hell do you mean? And then Lae'zel starts going like, what the fuck are you doing? You're fucking insane. Stop. And I was like, yeah, I don't think you're that powerful. And she says, I wish you die. And my character dies.
She didn't do that to me.
So basically, I told her to pound sand and she pounded me.
I told her to pound sand, but she fucked off.
No, but it's at a different stage of the game. You told her like in Act 3. I told her like in the middle of Act 2 or something, because you get to interact with her at some point.
Yeah, but, I didn't do. Lae'zel sat in camp the whole time, but that's the funny thing, right? So when I get through, I'm doing Dark Urge, and I'm making my way down to fight what's her face, and Lae'zel comes out bloody and battered. You have to go. She's down here. Orin's gonna kill us. Blah blah blah. And then I'm like, you're obviously a doppelganger. And then so Orin morphs, and she's like, if you want to rescue your friend, you'll do as I say. If you come towards me, she'll die. And I'm like, bitch, she ain't part of my party anyway. Let's fucking go. Oh, so I get all the way over there. But here's the kicker. So if you're playing Dark Urge, after you beat her, did she turn into like a giant xenomorph matriarch type thing?
Yeah.
You get the option to take that form and use it for yourself. It's called Slayer form.
Ooh. See, you want to know what disappointed me about that thing? I did that fight. I mean, it's not a big deal. But what disappointed me about that fight is that they didn't do a dancing animation for that form that you're talking, because I hit her with the dancing spell.
And she just stood there?
She just kind of like, doesn't do anything. It would have been so hilarious if that thing had a dance animation. It would start dancing.
Dude, yeah, I beat her ass. And then, because I'm Dark Urge, Ball was like, accept my gift, embrace the Slayer form. And I basically was like, fuck off, Dad. I'm not accepting your gift. So Ball kills you. But if you're Dark Urge and you denounce Ball, Withers shows up and resurrects your ass.
Damn.
So Withers is basically, it's not confirmed, but the lore is that he's basically like the original god of nothingness or whatever, like the one that was in power before the Dark 3 came along, because he has a whole little epilogue, and he has some choice words after Ball kills you, and it's basically like, these little trifling hoes don't know what they're doing.
Yeah, I remember that. I had that dialogue too.
Yeah. So but, he brought me back as Giga Chad undead champion, and I'm like, let's go. But
now you see why like Act 2 kind of bothered me. Like, I wanted to kill Emperor. Like I feel like with what happens in Act 3.
Why do you hate the Emperor so much?
Because I don't deal with mind flayers the same way that I don't deal with goblins. I want them all dead.
But he's not your typical mind flayer.
Listen, it's specifically,
cool mind flayer.
It's told to you in the game, the moment something becomes a mind flayer, they don't have a soul anymore. They're not even the original thing they were. They're just a copy.
Has become self-aware. They don't have a soul usually, because they're controlled by the mother brain, and she lets him break loose and he develops into his own person.
No, I don't. It's like, listen, at the end of the day, I wanted to kill him. I think that they shouldn't even give you the choice to kill him then in Act 2, because it doesn't make sense. It's just like, oh, it's a game over. Doesn't matter. It's just it was a weird thing. But there's like 3 ways.
And then you save scummed instead of starting your whole playthrough over. Unbelievable.
See, that's the thing. I actually wanted to start my playthrough over when Vlakith killed me because I was like, yep, that's the canon ending. I died because I told Vlakith to go pound sand and she killed me. That was the canon ending. The reason I didn't do it is mostly because of the stream. Because like if I was playing by myself, I probably would have restarted then. I was like, yep, that character died right there.
You're starting over another
another
30 hour just to get back to that part. Yeah.
Yeah, I probably would have. Because like, if you're not with the pressures of content creation, it's like you can just play Baldur's Gate until the end of the year. Easy.
Not with as many games as are coming out, though. There's too many.
I mean, it depends.
Too many games.
It depends. But it's like, I feel like I could have easily, if I really just wanted to play Baldur's Gate, you could play Baldur's Gate until the end of the year. Just like exploring all the different alternatives and stuff like that. But yeah, so that Act 2 thing really bothered me. And then at the end of Act 3, because I got rid of Emperor, so you had... a mind flayer to do whatever the fuck it is that mind flayers need to do with the balls. I didn't.
Well, yeah, it's just like a, oh yeah.
So I didn't have a mind flayer. So guess what happens then? They're like, well, somebody's got to be a mind flayer.
Oh yeah. Who did you let turn?
So it can either be you, it can be lover. Orpheus, or it can be Karlach.
Yeah.
And here's the thing, dude. That's when I realized that a lot of people in my chat, like, they really don't have notion of what it is, like some social relationships or stuff, because they're just like, well, Karlach's gonna die anyway. Fuck her. I was like, what the fuck, dude? You'd sacrifice like your wife because she's got cancer or something? Like, what the fuck?
I initially made it myself, and then when I saw...
Wait, you needed to do a mind flayer?
You can choose to not trust the Emperor and become the mind flayer yourself instead.
Okay.
Which that was mine. Like we had saved it obviously, and I was like, I think I'm gonna do this, and then I did it, and I went from being like a Giga Chad dragon to fucking Squidward. And
yes.
I was like, Nope. See, the Emperor can do it. Reloading the save.
See, that's the thing. Like, when people who were watching my stream at that time, they saw that, like, I just lost all interest in the game.
You look so fucking stupid.
You saw it?
Like, no, just in general, the squid for because you're not even like a buff illithid or anything.
I thought you were saying that I looked stupid in like the stream.
Dude, my guy, I could probably find the timestamp, but I went from being like this badass dragon that looked like like a combo of like Kushala Daora and Safajiva almost. Super cool, badass armor, and now I'm just like squid man, and I'm like, oh hell no, I ain't doing this.
The thing to me was, right, the way that I was playing my character, because it was very important for me to role play, right?
I'm gonna find this while you're talking too. I'm gonna find the I'm gonna show you the screenshot difference.
Okay. So the way that I was role playing my character, right, I was like neutral type of character, but I'm thinking, okay, so here's Orpheus, the future of the Githyanki race, essentially, because he's the true heir, the prince of the comet returns, whatever the crap. So he needs to go lead the Githyanki. So I'm not going to sacrifice him. I'm not going to sacrifice my love interest because that'd be fucked up naturally. So the only thing left is me. So I transformed into the Mind Flayer. And it's like, look, I've been playing this badass dwarf, really cool, the whole playthrough, and then I become a fucking Mind Flayer. Like, I lost all joy in the game. The only thing that kind of redeemed it a little bit was when everything was said and done, the game gives me the option to fucking kill myself. And I was like, thank you. I just fucking stabbed myself and killed myself in the end. Karlach's sitting there like, what are you doing? No. I'm dead. I don't want to be a Mind Flayer.
Bro, I found the spot. This is such an insane difference. I was like, yeah, there ain't no way. There is no fucking way I am taking this change.
Yeah, it's like, basically, when I became a Mind Flayer, there was like a good 10 minutes silence while I was just like playing in silence on the stream. I was fucking depressed. Let me see. Oh, shoot. I wish I could show this better. Wait. No, I can't show it much better, but damn
you can just edit it in later. It's fine.
Whatever. I'll show it.
Yeah, it's just, dude, I went, because they even changed the armor. I'm like, dude, I went to like skinny Squidward from being like Giga Chad Dragon. Are you kidding me?
Yep, it was.
There was no way.
That's my biggest complaint about the story, is that I feel like this whole story is about you embracing mind flayers and the power of either allying with them
Now
or
the
accepting
power of
their
mind
powers.
flayers, that's a different story. Being able to
It's
fly
super
anywhere
powerful.
I want. Yeah.
It's super powerful. Like, my character was way more powerful when I was a mind flayer, for sure. But I don't care, because I never really metagamed that much to make myself that powerful.
I was fine just with tadpole powers. I was just zipping all over, psionic countering people.
I didn't even use tadpole powers at all on purpose, because I'm like, I don't want to like use these evil powers.
Just turn it into one. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm like, I'm trying to avoid this thing the whole time. And then, but that's the thing. See, that's where I'm coming from, where I say, I think the story is good if you're into this mind flayer stuff. Whereas me, I just look at mind flayers. I just want to kill them. Okay. I like mind flayers as an enemy that I can go and I can kill. Like, to me, I wish that the whole tadpole thing would have ended in Act 1. Like, listen, Act 2, I'm a normal guy. I don't want to have no fucking tadpole in my head. I want to be done with all that shit, which is what I thought was going to happen, but it didn't. That's fine. Yeah. I think the story is still very good. It's just not a story that I like. So I wish there were more options to deal with Emperor in Act 2. I think that's the thing that I really would have wanted. Like, I just want to off him. Like, give me the choice. Give me something that I can do to get rid of him in Act 2. And
just fully reject the tadpole.
Yeah. I just don't want to have the tadpole thing at all. It's not a... Because, like, in Divinity Original Sin, you also have, like, the surge color or whatever, but they get rid of that by Act 1, and then it's done. It's good. You can do whatever you want, which is what I expected that they did here, but they didn't. But at the end of the day, I still think the game is fucking amazing. And
can you fully remove the tadpole if you go for Lizelle and the crash and all that?
No. You want me to tell you what happens at the crash?
Sure.
So the device that she keeps talking about that can remove the tadpoles, they put her on it, right? And because she's like, oh, I'm going to be first, I'm going to get my tadpole removed. And so, and by the way, I was not going to like save scum this. So I was doing like insight rolls as the shit was happening, as the shit was going down. So my character is paying attention to what's happening, because like it's a whole thing where she's in this machine, which is like an organic looking machine, like a chair that looks like a fucking alien, that looks like it's about to suck her fucking brain off, right? And she's in there and she's screaming in pain. She's like, ah, but she's not asking for help. She's accepting it. And so the narrator starts asking you, okay, so she's sitting there, she's in fucking pain, looks like she's dying. You want to do anything about it? And I was like, nope. I mean, this is what she wanted. You go right ahead and you enjoy that. And then eventually you get to do an insight roll. And so I do the insight roll and I fail. And I was like, how important is this? I have like one inspiration roll. I was like, oh, fine, I'll use this inspiration. I use the thing and it's like, okay, so here's what you learn. This machine actually does not remove tadpoles. This machine basically extracts all of her memories so that they get all of the information of everything she experienced this far. So it's basically like a backup. It's not going to put it anywhere. She's just like, oh, now we have the information. That's it. And then it's going to kill her. Like, that's it. That's their cure for tadpoles. The Githyanki tadpole cure is we extract all of your memories for us, for our information, then we fucking kill you. And then I said, hey, Lizelle, you're going to die. I'm going to stop this, all right? And then I basically, once that happened, the other person was really upset. It's like, well, this is what was supposed to happen, because she was like supposed to be this doctor or whatever. This is what was supposed to happen. Like, why didn't you let it happen? It's like, because she was going to die. I don't want her to die. And she was upset too. She was like, why'd you save me? And I was like, because you were going to fucking die.
Yeah, I could not, dude. As soon as Lizelle got left in my camp, and that was it. She was too bitchy. She's too bitchy.
I actually really like Lizelle. Lizelle as a character is actually really cool.
I almost killed her. The scene early on in Act 1 where you like wake up and she has like a knife against your throat. I'm like, one wrong step, lady, you're fucking done. One wrong step and you're done. My dragon claw will punch through your chest and I will eat your heart.
What were your thoughts on Asterion?
I liked him. Asterion was fun. He was a little.
You didn't do his quest, right?
No, I didn't get to finish it because I was trying to get through Act 3. He was a little too anti-good in some parts. Like there would be like a children burning in a building, and you'd be like, "I'm gonna save him," and Asterion disapproves. You're like, bro, come on.
Listen, you want me to tell you some of the fucked up shit Asterion did as a
No, because I'm gonna
okay.
I plan on going back and doing his
like
full quest.
I did his quest line, and let me just tell you, my thoughts on Asterion are the first time that it tries to go in to bite you, there's the chance for you to like, there's the choice that you can like just drive a stake through him. I wish I'd done that at the very start, from the beginning. I wish I'd stabbed that fucking twink vampire, end his miserable life. That miserable fuck.
You have the option to like become a god with him essentially. I don't know what happens if you follow it. Like take the Nether Crown powers for yourself and like rule.
The Nether Crown powers. I mean, isn't that a Gale thing?
No, Gale wants to like use it too, but Asterion talks about how you could take it and wield the powers and essentially become like immortal gods.
Yeah,
I'm probably gonna do that in my evil playthrough.
Oh, and I killed Asterion at the end. I fucking offed him. Done.
Damn.
I actually save scummed because the way that you have to like do things to achieve an outcome where you can actually permanently kill him is kind of weird, and it doesn't make a lot of logical sense. And people were telling me, oh, if you do it like this and then like that, after I had done the scenario once, like if you had done it like this and then like that, you can actually permanently kill him. And I was like, I'm doing that just to kill this fucker. Fuck him. But by the way, what that means is that the voice actor did a fucking phenomenal job with that character. I mean, the voice acting all around is phenomenal, but the guy who plays the Asterion character, I think it's really well played, because a character that can bring these emotions out in you, where it's like, I'm gonna fucking kill you. Like, that's a good ass character in my book. Yeah, for sure.
I'm almost curious what made you hate him so much, but I think that would go into shit I don't want to know yet. I didn't like him from the beginning, but once you do his quest, I liked him even less. Like, there's a lot of people that are justifying what happened. I was like, no, fuck that shit. No excuses. I ended up, how'd you feel about Will?
Yeah, listen, Will had an accident in my playthrough.
Oh, God.
So listen, you know how there's the whole thing about dealing with the devil? And I was like, you know what? I think I'm smarter than this devil. So there's that part where you're supposed to save the asset or whatever that the devil lady's like, got to go retrieve this asset, whatever.
Oh, yeah, she's in the tank, yeah.
She's in the tank. Yeah. And I was like, you know, you're in the tank. Like, what are you going to do? And so it's like the second that you just like, oh, oops, because I did there was something that you did on the buttons, which is like an insight.
Yeah, it's like purge or release, yeah.
And so it's like I do the insight and I see that one of the buttons is release. And I was like, well, I don't want to do that one. I don't want to release her. I'm gonna hit the other button. And the literal second that you do that, Will's like, no, he's gone. Jesus. And then Carlake's like, what the fuck did you do? What did you do? And I was like, I mean, I didn't mean to. I thought I was going to screw over the demon. I really thought that I'm just going to get one over on this demon. I'm going to free will forever. This is perfect. Fucked her.
And so he turns into a pile of goop?
Yep. He's in hell being a pile of goop somewhere. And you get to go to hell. Did you go to hell, by the way?
Uh-uh.
Oh, dude, you missed it. Can you reload a save? Like, no joke.
Yeah,
you really got to do something. You got to do the House of Hope. Like, dude, House of Hope
Which one is House of Hope?
It's like, so there's a part, I don't know if, again, it all depends on how things work out for you.
Also, I did the House of...
Did you...
I thought it was the House of Hope. Isn't House of Hope Shadowheart?
No. So there's a part in Act 3 where you meet Raphael, you know, the demon guy who's been offering to remove your tadpole since Act 1. So when you meet him there, he says something about, oh, I have a connection. And no, or it's implied or something that supposedly there will be a connection in Baldur's Gate where Raphael can go to hell from a spot somewhere in Baldur's Gate. So I found this place, which was something where it seemed like it was a warlock store. Not a warlock. Is it warlocks? There are warlocks, right? Yeah, there's the warlocks. There's like a warlock store where you'd like sell you provisions for demon summoning and all that bullshit. So I go in there and I notice that there's like a satanic summoning circle and I start, you know, fiddling around. And basically you find out that this lady can actually open a portal to hell. And you can go to Raphael's house in hell. And the shit that goes down in there is fucking awesome. Like there's a Raphael boss fight, and it is potentially the coolest boss fight in the fucking game, dude. And the soundtrack. You can't look this up. You can't look this up, but the soundtrack.
I might pull back a save to before I like triggered end of the game and go revisit the Act 3 stuff.
Yeah, like there's
because Act 3 I was so stressed for time. I got to Act 3 and I kind of I beeline the main story.
Yeah, so it's like really I don't remember exactly where the house is, but like I would even look up, like if you need to I can load up like an earlier save and I'll go see where the house is.
I literally, like I said, I beelined objectives. I barely explored Act 3.
But like if you're going to stream it, just tell your chat, I need to get to the House of Hope, and I'm sure that somebody can guide you how to get there. And go to the House of Hope and just like fiddle around there because it's really cool.
Well, because I wanted to finish Astarion's quest line. I did want to know how Demon quest line ends up.
Yeah,
those are the two big ones.
The Astarion quest line is pretty cool too, by the way. It's not as cool as the Raphael one, but like it's also really cool, and you get to know a lot more.
I did
about
all
Astarion.
the other steps leading up to it, so. I'll probably revisit just to do those quests.
Yeah, I would. House of Hope is like a must. See, the reason I went there is because they tell you that he has the hammer that can free Orpheus. And because since the beginning, I'm like, I want to fuck over the Emperor. I'm going to free this guy. I had to go there to get the hammer. And then the shit that happens during that is just really cool. It's just really well made. It's a really cool encounter. It was probably my favorite thing in the whole game is the House of Hope. And
now I have to go visit it.
You have to go to the House of Hope. It's really cool. It's
Let me see if I still have. I might have the game installed still. Let me see.
Yeah, but that is just like a must thing. But see, in getting back to some of the Act 3 stuff, there was another thing that I was not a fan of. So you did the Ironwork stuff, but you didn't free their families, right?
No.
Yeah, you see how the gnome starts talking about, oh, you got to free my family and blah, blah. So I figured out how you can go free his family, and it is potentially some of the worst content in the game, in my opinion. So I'm going to tell you what happens there because it's really fucked up if you go there unprepared. But basically you go to, you get on this submarine type thing, and they go to this underground prison where they have the family of these other people, whatever they're called. I forget the names, right? And as you are approaching, Gortash sends you a message, and people have told me that if you kill Gortash before this, he just nukes everybody anyway for no reason. But basically, Gortash says, you need to go back right now or I'm going to kill all these fucking people that you're trying to save. And I was like, no, fuck you, I'm not going back. And so you go in, and he basically triggers a device that's going to blow up this underground base and kill everybody. So you have, I think it's either 5 or 6 turns. You have 6 turns to free as many people as possible. And here's me not trying to save scum, so I have a party that is not prepared for this at all. And basically you need a party that has like all kinds of teleportations and dimension doors and all of that bullshit.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's literally impossible for you to save everyone because you just don't have enough movement to go there and then come back in 6 turns because you not only have to...
should have had your illithid flight. Probably would have been fine.
Yeah, exactly. Because you not only have to rescue them, you still have to make it back. Otherwise, people die. I mean, of course, you can resurrect them using withers and whatnot, so long as one person makes it out.
Yeah.
But I was trying to role play, so I'm like, I'm not going to leave my fucking people behind. That's kind of whatever. But yeah, that thing, I did not like that at all because it's one of those situations where for someone that doesn't like the save scum, it just fucking sucks because you walk in there and you're like, oh shit, everybody's going to die. Oops, too bad. That's it.
I'm trying to think what would be like my most, honestly, I think my most memorable encounter was Merkel in Act 2. Merkel? After you, yeah, what is that? Lord of Death or whatever.
Oh, so the when you fight
the final boss of Act 2, basically. Yeah. So I talk dude into like, it's not too late, blah blah blah. So then he steps down. Merkel shows up, like blah blah, I'm Avatar, I'll fight you to death. The way his arena's set up, I was able to start a firewall on one side of it, go straight across him and drop it. He just fucking cooked. He was dead in like 3 turns. Because his entire fight took place with him existing inside firewall. And so it was like, somebody would go, we'd look at Merkel, oh, somebody else would go look at Merkel, oh, somebody else would go. I'm just like, you're fucked. Like you're super dead. There's no coming back.
In that fight, because there's actually a piece of dialogue right before that fight begins, which is a little bit glitched because I saw the piece of dialogue very briefly and it instantly got overtaken by something else, but it said something, she's in chains. And I was like, oh shit. So I looked for anybody that was in chains, went to release them, instantly released Dave Malin, and we just fucking rocked him. There was almost nothing that he could do. It was super easy. But speaking of firewall, there was actually an encounter where I used the firewall technique, which was disgusting. It was the Shadow Heart one, where you aggro like the whole fucking room. I don't know if that's how it played out for you, but for me, when I got to the Shadow Heart quest in Act 3, basically, you know, the lady that's there, because I convinced Shadowheart to basically desert her god or whatever. So Shadowheart was fully on my side. So the moment she gets there, she tells the people there, no, fuck you guys, give me my parents, fuck this. And the lady goes, okay, you're all dead. And you aggro the whole fucking room. And it's just too many people. I couldn't kill them all. So I run up the stairs and I get one character to cast Firewall across the whole stairs.
Yeah, the Firewall was honestly like my MVP spell.
And then I didn't even have a sorcerer, by the way. This was like a Firewall scroll.
Oh, God.
So it's like Firewall scroll. And then I just put two of the beefiest people. I don't remember who it was. I think it was Shadowheart and somebody else. Shadowheart with a little guardians thing around her.
Yeah, angel guardians.
At the end of the Firewall. So it's like you make your way all the way through the Firewall, and there's fucking Shadowheart and Lae'zel just waiting to pound on you.
Kill you. Yeah.
So it was perfect. Everybody kept running in and dying halfway through the thing or dying when they got the Shadowheart. It was hilarious.
Yeah, I did that in Act 2. There's like that weird staircase everyone has to come up, and I just firewalled the whole thing and was like, come get me.
You're all dead. Yep. It's a good strategy. Firewall is potentially one of the most potent spells in the goddamn game. It's really good.
Yeah, there was a fight too on the way down to or a couple fights where I'd like walk into a big room and I'd be like grossly overwhelmed, and I would just make a big ass firewall and then kind of retreat, and everything would just like walk through it dying. And I'm like, get fucked, like you're gonna melt. Because I was really big on area control, so I'd have like a firewall out, I would have like thorns out, I would have ice areas out, so like people just couldn't approach me. Like they would usually like get janky and like find a specific angle where they could potentially jump through most of it, and then they would usually slip, and then lightning would come down and hit them or something. I was like, you're not, none of you are existing. You're dead. Yeah, you're done.
Yeah, but it was just a really good game, and I'm waiting for them to patch up some of the stuff, particularly like some of the Act 3 stuff, because it was really janky. And once that happens, I'm probably gonna replay as Dark Urge or something, because it's just so friggin'.
I want to do Circle of Spores, because I've heard you can get pretty crazy with just like different auras and shit, and like you kill stuff and then you bring it back as like spore zombies, and you're basically just like a walking version of The Last fungus. Of Us. Yeah, just everything dies.
You are the cordyceps fungus.
Yeah, literally. I'm like, that sounds fucking cool. I want to murder everything.
I want to be a barbarian, probably either barbarian or a cleric in my next playthrough, because
clerics are so busted in that game.
Oh yeah,
they're so strong.
Yeah, but
do paladin. Paladin's fun, man. Paladin can.
It's just I played around with Karlach a lot, and like, dude, Karlach was my grab dude, beat dude with other dude, and that is just such a cool
she's
mechanic.
She does whatever she wants. Oh, this thing's in way, kick door open, throw person into door. Like,
there were so many times where I was like, I don't know what to do. This is a tight spot. How about if I just grab this dude, throw him against this dude? Now they're both in the ground. It's much easier now.
Yeah,
it's so sad. It's funny.
Barb is so. I think the one. Did you get a knock spell?
No, I didn't get knock.
Shit is so fucking dumb. It's so insane.
You just unlock everything, instead of like lock picking.
Like, super master lock door that you're not going to possibly win because it's a 30 skill check. Opens up. I'm like,
I could have gotten that spell. I'll probably grab that spell next time around.
It's insane how useful it is.
It's really good. Oh yeah, dude. How did you do in Last Light In? Did everybody survive?
Oh yeah, everyone just bodied the shit out of those guys. I mean, my party was set up to be like super range dominant because I made a Starion a ranger, and so the main fight was basically just completely crushed by. I had Shadowheart, my paladin, and Karlach all upstairs, and then everyone else spread out, and they were like just sniping off the weird little winged demons.
So here's what happened to me. I put my party all in the perfect position to protect the Isabel. Like, it's impossible for somebody to get through Isabel without getting completely destroyed by my party. Okay, so
but
she's
they spawn up on top of her though.
They spawn up on top of her, but like in the following turns, like I throw people around, I push people around, and it's just like I have a wall around her. Nobody can get to her. So what does she do? She's like, you know what? I think I'm going to go over there, trigger 3 attacks of opportunity on my way there, get the shit beat out of me, and then when I get there, I'm going to use the worst healing spell in the world to heal myself for all this shit damage that I took. And then after that, I'm just going to sit here. And I was like, fuck. And then next turn, big boy with wings is like, oh, you're all the way over there. It'd be a shame if I just jumped there and fucking crit you. He just jumped to her, crit her, dead. I was like, what the fuck was this? Like, I do the most perfect thing. And she's like, I'm going to trigger 3 attacks of opportunity, then get crit in the face and die. And it's funny because people were telling me like, oh, skill issue. Literally like 2 days after, developers like, oh yeah, we're changing this fight. We're increasing the health Isabel has. We're doing. I was like, bro, fuck off. But I didn't save scum, so I lost everybody at last light in.
Yeah, no,
because you have to kill them. You have to kill everybody.
Yeah, that fight started, and it's like, you know, Isabel, wing guy, and then it was like, here's Karlach, here's the barbarian. Here's my dude. So like Isabel couldn't have even pathed out of that room if she wanted, because there was just a wall of bodies ready to like she didn't even try. She started fighting back, but we killed the main wing guy. He was dead in I think 2 turns. That's only because he like evaded one of my smites.
Yeah, I would have killed him too, but no. It's just like Isabel's like, yeah, I'm gonna go over here and die. So
got cheated.
Yep. Pretty much, but it was interesting dealing with the fallback from that. I was really upset because the guy who fixes Karlach died, and I was like, "Fuck, Karlach's fucked now." But I think I did all of the fixes before, so it was fine because Karlach always dies anyways. So
did you discover the murder ox that's next to him?
Oh yeah, I killed it.
Yeah. Yeah, that thing had. I don't even want to know what it was. It had some issues though.
Yeah, dude, that thing was mad. But yeah, I killed that thing straight up. But yeah, that's Baldur's Gate 3. Baldur's Gate 3 is awesome. If you made it this far into the podcast, it means you've already played it as well, hopefully. But yeah, I think that's pretty much it, unless you have something else.
No. This was like a stream podcast. Those are dude, like 2.5 hours.
The worst part is like I was like, dude, I don't have that many topics prepared. I was scared as like, bro, we're gonna speak for like 45 minutes. It's gonna be over. It's gonna be weird. But no, I guess I had maybe too many topics even.
Oh, we had a lot of games to discuss. We didn't even talk about Armored Core, but
we had a massive Armored Core discussion before this, and I know you want to talk about the endings, and I haven't finished it yet. So I want to go Spoilercast with you. Yeah.
Hurry up.
I mean, it's just like, listen, Lies of P, and then I'm jumping into that probably even off stream. I'm just jumping in, New Game Plus, go. Boom, 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 boom.
Yeah, New Game Plus, you can burn through the New Game Plus cycles in about 10 hours a pop.
Yep. I'm probably going to be doing that. But after Lies of P, which I don't think it should be too long now, considering the beefy weapon that I have.
You've probably won. Let me see. So you are at
Grand Rot Central Station, whatever. Immediately after.
Yeah. No, you got a fair chunk left because that was like episode.
I'm like 21 hours in. You said it was like 24 hours.
So, well, for me at least, that was around episode 30 of the Let's Play, and the Let's Play was 43 episodes total.
Damn. Okay, so there's still
so you have like a solid quarter of the game left.
Okay. Well, I'm having more fun now, so at least there's that. But anyway, that's going to be it for this podcast, folks. If you guys enjoyed it, like button, subscribe, bell, notification icon, all that jazz. Cowboy stuff is in the description. We'll see you guys in the next one. Stay strong, stay safe. Peace out.
Chat.